Mexico or something like that. I said, they wouldn't have done it. And I said, that's a flaky story anyway.
Right.
Who the hell is 20K just laying out?
Yes.
Same thing with you guys. Who the hell tapes all that cash?
Well, that one lady was blaming us for old books. I mean, it was just crazy shit. It didn't make any sense.
No, geez, I'm glad I asked you that question.
You know what I've been doing, Jay? I have people's houses to look at their poor workmanship that was done on jobs. We up. It's a single lady there.
Yeah.
I put a recording thing on my phone, and I tell them I'm recording the conversation, and I put it on my phone, so I record the whole while I'm there, so I don't get accused of, something inappropriate.
Gotcha.
So do you tell your people if somebody offers that, say, hey, no, thank you, just don't want to go on?
My roofers are supposed to put up a porta potty tent.
Okay.
What the hell's that?
It's like you can get them at Cabela's, and it's just a pop-up tent. I know you've seen them before over manholes and stuff like that.
Oh.
You know, when the guys are working, it's just that looks like a phone booth tent. You can get these portable trappers. It's a toilet seat you put on top of a 5-gallon bucket. Have you ever seen one of those? No. So anyway, what I'm really concerned about is the guys taking a crap on the job site. Taking a piss is bad. Taking a crap is really bad.
Oh, yeah. So they don't always use these little, whoops.
I tried to get them all off.
I'm glad I asked you that.
That's funny.
Seriously. But I totally agree. People are,
It's one of those things you don't think of, though. Where do the people go to the bathroom? Or do they hold it all?
I've been asked before. I think, the guys are supposed to go down to 7-Eleven or something like that. But my guys are supposed to put a porta potty tent when we get super busy like this. Then it kind of goes out the window.
Never happens.
It happens sometimes.
So I see liability. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And that's why the HVAC people really do.
What do you mean liability?
Well, like I said, one of the questions that lady said is it wasn't Excel that they had to do a roof. But she says, you know what? They were out there for 12 hours. In fact, they finished up with flashlights on the roof at night, which is kind of, anyway.
We do the same thing. Same thing.
I know. Why did that was such a weird thing that bothered you, that they were finishing up at night?
Well, because,
the reality of that one, though, is, have you ever heard of that problem with white guys? They stayed after dark.
No, they were using like their phone and
I know. I fielded that call, I don't know, 30 times. They did such a shitty job cleaning up.
Oh, you didn't say
they were working on the roof after dark, and how do they clean up after dark? And I just tell people, you're right. You're right. We need to come back and clean up. And I tell people, I say, you know what? I cannot fault these guys.
Oh, I agree.
For working until it's.
No, they want to get finished.
Right, especially not close. Do you put a tarp around? So when they throw stuff off,
sometimes.
Okay.
It depends upon the roof.
So
depends upon the heat too.
Gotcha.
If you put a tarp on grass when it's 95 degrees out, you're going to kill the grass.
Yeah. But you always run the no magnet through there to pick up.
The guys are supposed to. Yep. I'm working on getting a couple more guys in my production department too. And I'm going to have them do nothing but check jobs and do cleanup, an additional cleanup.
Mark's looking for a little extra work.
Only on weekends.
Okay, these magnetic nail things are about 3 feet wide on wheels. Can you just walk around?
They work pretty well. Okay.
They do.
Great. My dad had bought one and stuff on it.
You can't get every one. And you know who the worst people to work for with the nails is? He's one of them. Horse people.
Dog people. Why? Because the horses will step on them?
Why are horses and nails bad?
Well, I mean, it's a hooves, but it's just like any animal. I mean,
it is.
Except with a horse, it can get lodged.
And what? We're talking 20 grand for the value of the
well,
horse?
If they get an infection, thrush or something.
And how much do people love their horses?
Oh, well, that's really insane.
Am I on to something here?
There is a song.
The Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hello, Tom Martino here. I love what I do for you.
And I love what I do on the radio, and you make it all possible by trusting me. Give me a call, 303-713-TALK. Or 303-Martino works 24/7. This hour brought to you by Simply Floors, simplyfloorsinc.com. What we do here is we make recommendations, we help people directly, we solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. It's the only place, really, to unload without having to pay money because, attorneys, hey, they have their They have their purpose, but my God, you're not going to go to an attorney every time you have an issue. So we take those problems and solve, big and small. We've been doing it for many, many, many years, and I'm so happy. We have experts from the referral list, like SimplyFloorsInc.com. Buddy Mitchell, he just prides himself at paying his installers better, paying his help better, making the whole experience better, taking less profit, passing savings on to consumers, competing with big boxes and all of the big stores to where he can save you 20 to 40% if he carries the brands. If he doesn't, he'll price match and give you better service anyway. But he is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, a value-minded guy, and you will know it. SimplyFloorsInc.com, 52nd and Ward, southwest corner. These people give it their all, and I'd love feedback. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Now, we're going to go to the phones right now, and then I'll get to a guest in the studio. Michelle, what is happening with you?
Oh, nothing. Dealing with police
harassment
in the little town I live in.
That's what we hear. So let's start the story. You live in this little town. How long have you been there?
My whole life.
Okay. And what's the little town?
It's Craig, Colorado.
Did you say Craig? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what's the problem?
My husband got into a fight with an ex-girlfriend back in 2016.
Okay.
And that stemmed a felony case.
Oh, wait. It was felony menacing or felony assault? That's pretty serious.
No, it was none of those. He got possession of a weapon by a previous offender for the first felony case.
So he was getting in a fight with an ex-girlfriend. An
argument, yeah. It was just they were yelling at each other.
And he had a gun on him?
No, it was a handkerchief and a padlock.
It was a handkerchief?
Yeah, like, bam!
Oh, wait a minute. So he didn't have a gun on him?
He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a knife.
He had a handkerchief with a padlock. Did he fashion it into a weapon like Mark was?
No.
Well, what do you mean then? How do you get arrested for having a handkerchief? Help me out here. And a padlock.
They called it, I guess it's called a blackjack.
That's exactly what we just said. In other words, they were accusing him of having this padlock tied to the handkerchief.
Why else would someone walk around with a padlock?
So, Michelle.
Well, he works in a shop, so it was just in his pocket.
Okay.
You know
it was in his pocket, tied to a handkerchief.
It wasn't tied to the handkerchief. It was just they were in the same pocket.
Okay.
They were not attached to one thing.
First of all, how did the police get involved? What were they arguing about? I'm just trying to get the facts here, Michelle. How were
Okay, so him and his girlfriend were breaking up. His girlfriend was a caregiver for his dad, who had MS at the time.
Okay, got it.
His dad has since passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But the girlfriend called the cops because she wanted them to diffuse, I guess, the argument her and Tanner were having.
What was the argument about?
He wanted her to leave.
Okay. And so, like, fire her?
Yeah, like leave, because they weren't getting along. They were broken up, and she was still trying to. So
was he saying we no longer want you to be the caregiver?
Yeah, just
okay.
Go, like,
so they're having an argument, and she calls the cops, and then what?
Yes. The sheriff show up, and Tanner is arrested. They said that he broke her phone, and he had that weapon, so he got the obstruction of a telephone.
I got
the weapon charge, and then the harassment, all the stuff that comes with an argument.
Yeah. But it all turned. There was a felony out of this.
Yeah, the possession of a weapon by a previous offender.
How was he a previous offender?
He had gotten in trouble for felony menacing when he was 18 years old.
Okay, so on this charge, did he plead guilty?
Well, not on that case. He's from that one arrest that we're talking about right now.
Yes.
It stemmed to.
When was that arrest? What year?
2016.
Okay. Now, does everything come out of that one arrest?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Like, what's the latest?
His last case was 18 CR 48 was the last time he was arrested for a felony.
Oh, wait.
And
so
they arrested
hold on.
him on that.
Since that 2016 arrest, how many arrests has he had?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8,
What?
9, 10, 11,
Wait.
12.
What? Wait
My
a minute.
God.
Wait. Since 2016, he was arrested 12 more times. Are they harassing him?
Yes, that's what I've been trying to find a lawyer for.
Now, hold on, though. What was he arrested for? Like, after that incident, what was the very next time he was arrested?
CR6.
No. Don't get, please.
Oh.
Please don't give me numbers. We don't care about numbers. What I
Okay.
care about is just say he was arrested for this or arrested for that. What, like the very next time, how long after that incident was he arrested again? How long after?
Not even a month later.
All right, what was he arrested for?
Eluding, driving without a license, weapons charge again.
Okay.
Violation of a bail bond, violation of a restraining order.
Okay. Wow. And geez. And then after that, how long was it after that?
A month and a half.
And what was he arrested for then?
Violation of a restraining order.
Against her?
Yes.
What weapon did he have the first time he was arrested there? That, you know,
Every time he gets arrested, it's the same handkerchief and padlock.
Well, geez, you'd think he'd learn not to carry those.
Why doesn't he learn not to carry those?
Well, he doesn't feel that he shouldn't be allowed to carry a handkerchief.
Okay, Michelle, you don't seriously sound stupid to me at all. You sound like you care. And you have to admit, Michelle, you have to admit he could be just asking for trouble. I mean, why the hell would he be arrested 12 times and he continues to carry this padlock and handkerchief when they've said it's a problem? I mean, come on, I'm just talking person to person now. Don't you think there's something to it?
After that third arrest, he no longer carried it.
But he was arrested 3 times for that after the first time.
Well, he was arrested, 3 times for having contact with the girlfriend.
Okay. Was he contacting her or not?
She was Facebooking him, and they shared a yard. The house that she lived in was his parents' rental.
What do you think's going on, Michelle?
I think that the police department and Craig find somebody to harass and continually harass
Why?
them.
Do you think they have nothing better to do? Really? Why? Do you really think that makes sense?
No, I don't think they have anything better to do.
Okay. And
I honestly don't.
So you're looking for an attorney to do what?
Well, since 2016 to May 23rd, when Tanner got sentenced to prison, he had 42 felonies against him.
Wow. 42 felonies.
Yes.
Okay, so 42 felonies. I want to ask you something. How does someone get 42 felonies without going away for a very long time?
I don't know that. All Tanner's charges have no drugs. They're only on Tanner, like all the stuff that he gets in trouble for. It's just him. So I don't know. Anytime Tanner's name is said in Craig, Tanner's arrested. Like, I know that sounds pathetic, but I'm not lying to you.
It does sound pathetic. I'm not saying
Tanner
you're lying.
was walking down the street,
I'm just saying.
and they frisked him.
Okay.
Like
well, the guy's listen. 42 felonies. How many How many felonies was he convicted of?
He pled guilty to felony eluding and the weapons charge.
Okay. What are you calling about today? Is he in jail right now?
He's in prison right now.
For how long?
5 years.
Okay. How long? When does he get out?
We're hoping he gets out in December of next year.
Okay. What are you calling about today? How do we help you, if at all? And you know, Michelle, I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm just trying to find a civil rights attorney.
You won't find one.
Somebody actually looked into the arrest that Tanner has and the charges that Tanner has.
Actually, I shouldn't say that.
Like
Maybe, let's put it this way. Who knows? I mean, maybe you are being picked on. Mark, you are so eager to say something.
This guy could be misunderstood.
Now, Michelle, it doesn't sound good, but you're saying that these are all fabricated or exaggerated. What are you actually saying?
Well, we went to in Route County because he has cases in both Moffat and Route County.
Yeah.
We went.
So
it's not just
Craig it's not just Craig Police.
No.
Well, then why do you think it's so it can't all be a conspiracy, Michelle? It's more than one.
No, I'm telling you, if you actually looked into it, it is. I'm not joking. Like, when you get arrested, right? The cops take the evidence that they have, and then you get your charges, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So tell me if I call you, okay, and I say so-and-so did this to me, okay?
Yeah.
So that happened, and from that happening, Tanner got charged with 19 felonies.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that people don't just call up and make false reports. Not that many times.
Yes, my kid's dad did do that. Yes, that did happen.
Every time?
That's the only time we've had somebody call that it was a lie.
Okay.
Anytime Tanner has police contact, he's arrested on felony charges.
Listen, I don't think Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. And I know he would review any case, okay? You pay for it, right? I mean, if he feels civil rights have been violated, I guess he would say something. He's a really good attorney, Joseph A. Lazara. And 429-6200, 303-429-6200. Michelle, I would start there with a criminal defense attorney. He does all kinds of criminal defense. But I'm telling you, he'll be honest with you and tell you, look, this guy's just been charged too many times. There's not much you can do. If you go to a civil rights attorney, there are civil rights attorneys, they're not going to take this free. It'll cost you thousands of dollars to get them to review all these cases.
He hasn't just been charged. He's been convicted and sent to prison.
You understand, Michelle, it's going to cost money. Do you have money to pay, or are you hoping somebody's going to...
Yeah, his mom does.
Okay, good. I mean,
I know you guys aren't going to let me, like, explain things because...
No, Michelle, don't get me wrong. Listen, Michelle, I'm leaving open the possibility that there's some stuff going on. I'm not trying... I'm just saying that it doesn't sound good. No, I can't let you explain each and every detail. But Joe Lazara is a good start. He really is. I mean that. To at least have him look at the cases, just pay for it. Well, the initial consultation won't cost you anything. And then have him look at it. 303-429-6200. What else can I say? So we have to take this quick break. But please start there. K&H Home Solutions has a buy two, get one free when it comes to windows. Buy two, get one free. Get your windows done before the cold of winter. These are energy efficient, durable, beautiful, and custom fit, made to K&H specs. They are custom windows to the T and measured to an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch, I think. That's how custom. Now, K&H will also do siding at 35% off or entry doors 35% off. You don't have to buy windows to get that. You don't have to buy any combination. You can buy just entry doors and get 35% off, or Everlast siding, the best siding made, for 35% off, or buy two windows, get one free. For every two you buy, you get one free. 303-421-7100 if you have any questions. But you can go online, make your own appointment. KHWindows.com, a company 62 years strong, and I've known the original owner and the owner now. KHWindows.com.
What do you guys think? If she the guys on the railroad, obviously. If she wants to send all the police reports in, the police report has to show probable cause for the arrest.
Well, okay, it could be a phone call.
Yep.
Okay, this guy did this to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there's probable cause and there's a DA report that shows evidence.
I mean, he's walking around with a handkerchief and a padlock.
Over and over.
Over and over and over.
I can't believe she's sticking up for him, though, because he keeps messing with his ex-girlfriend or whatever.
Steve on Facebook says, find a new guy is the best advice. I agree with that.
And
Why
he won't
is she
be out in
sticking
short
up for him?
I know.
If I keep messing with my old girlfriend, my wife would drop me like
That's a whole different side to it.
So here, just let you know, he lives with his mom. His old girlfriend rents a house from his mom. They're right adjoining or back-to-back properties. So when she goes over there, he's a problem. She can call restraining order, right there.
Didn't that woman say that they're talking to each other on Facebook also?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, I don't
Violation of
Yeah,
restraining
tell me
order.
that earlier.
Violating a restraining order.
Can't fix stupid.
Oh, and then she had called in on him, and then his old girlfriend, gave him, bailed him out.
I guarantee you they'll serve the whole
His
5
old
years.
girlfriend bailed him out?
But after she called the cops on him.
Yeah.
Ah, menage a trois.
Like I said, you're right.
Something's going down.
She married him in this last February.
The one that's calling in.
I guarantee you, they'll serve that whole 5 years. Because he won't get out good behavior. Somebody that has an asshole attitude, it doesn't change.
42 felonies. If you don't get 42 felonies just because.
Whoops.
You know what? I need to job this out, Jay.
And yeah,
42's it. You got to work on that, man.
And they probably.
I don't think Charles Manson had 42 felonies.
Every time they see him, I bet they're picking him up and they're looking for probable cause. Every time.
Well, because every time they pick him up, he's got a freaking lock and a handkerchief.
He's got the freaking blackjack in his pocket.
Man, that would hurt like hell, wouldn't it?
And did you hear that string of stuff? I mean, can you imagine the backstory of that?
Well, he didn't have a driver's license.
That was the
That's
eluding
kind of
no driver's license. Yeah, every time they see him, they know they can stop him
No,
because he
but that's
doesn't have a
standard.
license.
Oh,
2 rolls of
what did he have? He had a lock in
You know, that's a good point.
in the handkerchief.
Yeah, but the two rolls of quarters in a sock is the.
Yeah, but he just didn't want the
Blanket
lock.
party.
He didn't want the lock to be damaged, so he covered it with a handkerchief. Right?
He was protecting his lock.
Yeah,
Blood,
they
yeah.
didn't want it scratched up.
Didn't want bloody.
And somehow she was explaining that the lock was just from his work or something.
It was only this big.
Every time they see him, they know he's driving without a license, and they know he's got a black
So they pull him out.
pocket.
Yeah. And that can be their probable cause.
Sounds like low-hanging fruit to me.
Yeah, there you go.
There's that idiot.
There you go.
Let's get him.
There's Tanner.
19 felonies.
42 felonies.
19 in one stop.
And that one charge.
Well, that's going to be a record.
19's pretty good for one stop.
You know,
Felony eluding, so that means
police,
he went on
they have to get the DA.
He ran from the cops.
That means he either took off in the car or took off on his feet.
He should move.
Dude, it sounds like
He should move.
Sounds like
Right.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Exactly the best suggestion. Is move to another town.
I wonder how big Craig is.
Not
It's
big.
pretty small, isn't it?
Yeah, my.
You should head over to
By
Steamboat.
close to Grand Junction, up north, like Steamboat.
I bet Aspen would embrace him.
I think that's
not
where
in
that
Grand
college
Junction,
is.
though, is
It's north of Grand Junction. It's by Steamboat.
It's like 10,000 people, man.
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's by
I think
Steamboat.
that's where my nephew went to college.
That is a tiny
Is there a college there?
Yeah, I think there's an aviation college there.
points of interest.
Where?
In Craig, isn't it Craig?
Aviation.
There's an aviation college somewhere up in northwestern
No,
Colorado.
you know, I think you're talking about Ames.
Maybe in Grand Junction, where's
No, no, it's
She
one
told me
little
that
town.
one time 3 cops stopped her. I said, "Are they even 3 cops?"
Did you see line 6? I got her on for you for the Southbridge Dentistry Veterans Event.
When is that? November 9th.
It's November 9th, but they need
Aviation
people to
maintenance
call and
technology.
sign up now.
Craig?
Okay.
You're right. It's a month before, and then we'll do it a little sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little aviation college there. My nephew went there.
I don't know if it's actually.
A degree in underwater basket weaving, as he calls it.
For aviation?
Yeah, it is in Craig.
Yeah, Clint, that's
Colorado
That's
Northwestern
my
Community
degree, man.
What's
College.
that?
Aviation?
Yeah?
I have an aviation management.
Yeah, I guess it is. Aviation technology.
Yeah. Jason went there. My nephew, he's a captain for Frontier.
Is he?
Hi, Tom Martino. Look outside. You don't see much sun, do you? But you can find out what your lot will produce over the next 20 years. They can take imagery software, see your roof line, see your lot lines, and predict how much radiation you'll get. It's all free of charge, this analysis. They'd like to be your solar company. They can sell you a system with tax credits you get and low monthly payments. There's no money out of pocket, and you save money because you shift from paying an electric bill to paying this solar system off. And really, it's good for the environment, good for the pocketbook, because your rates don't ever go up again. Now, Jay, do you know about this imaging software? You use it in roofing, don't you?
We use it all the time.
Now, what is it? I mean, I don't know if it's the same exact one, but they use the kind of images so that you can actually tell how big a roof is.
It is. And
how accurate?
This is cool, Tom. You'll like it even better than the way it sounds because it's not a satellite view, but an airplane actually circles over and takes maybe half a dozen pictures of every house. Can you imagine every house in Denver has half a dozen pictures taken by an airplane of it?
Or drone?
It's a regular airplane.
Wow. And so then they put it in their data bank.
They put it in their data bank, and then when I need the measurements for that roof, they pull all of those pictures, and
they're accurate.
And they're really accurate.
Do you even see the roof, or you just get the dimensions?
Yeah, I see the roof. I get the dimensions. I get everything, and it'll show you if there's trees around it. So it's going to show you the solar aspect, what you're going to get out of it.
But Mark, I guess you were asking when he does his estimate. They do go on the roof. They do look at roofs, but this gets
No. I meant when he uses the software.
Oh, yeah.
We do both, is what we do.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what the insurance companies use also. And so when we're developing an estimate for somebody based on their insurance, what we do is we get this Eagle View, and then we also put the information into Xactimate. And so that's why when we're bidding roofs, we know exactly what the insurance company is going to pay. And this is where so many roofers, they don't even know how to measure the roof. They don't know how to use the Eagle View.
They don't.
That's why
they just say, oh, we'll pay whatever insurance will.
Give me your paperwork. I'll meet your adjuster. Give me your paperwork.
And don't do that, folks. Okay, listen. So that's gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter to get the form, to fill it out, and then they'll use this software to find out what you will produce over 20 years, and they'll guarantee that 20-year production plus 20-year parts and labor on the solar system. That's gocamsolar.com. And as I said, any guarantee, no matter who it's from, Jay Brett's, Cam Solar, Pro Auto, Budget A1, Buy and Build, no matter what, it's only as good as the company. Remember that. Okay, let's keep going. We have a really great thing going on for veterans I want to let people know about. This is Stephanie. She's the office manager at Southbridge Dentistry, and this is wonderful what they do for veterans. I am hoping people will pass this along to any veteran that they know. Stephanie, can you explain what you're doing?
Absolutely. So we have a Veterans Day dentistry event that we hold every year on or around Veterans Day. This year it's going to be on November the 9th. And we do completely free dentistry for our veterans and those that are currently in the armed forces right now.
So active duty or veteran, if they prove that they're an active duty or veteran, they get free dentistry. Are there any kind of limits?
There aren't any limits. We do need to see them for a consultation before the 9th, so we need to have them give us a call ahead of time so we can schedule them with the doctors so that they can take a look.
No charge.
See what's needed. No charge.
Not even the initial look.
Not even the initial look.
Now, people, listen carefully. I know that you know a veteran. We all know veterans. We know active duty soldiers. We do active duty seamen. We know active duty people, and they are giving their time, their lives, and Southbridge wants to pay back in honor of Veterans Day. November 9th, they are going to do free dentistry for veterans in active duty, but you got to call them first to sign up, and they want to see you. Now, first I want to ask, is it needs-based or just status-related?
It's definitely, it's whatever they need. So
I meant they. Is it dependent on their income or anything, or do they simply have to be a vet?
Nope, simply have to be a vet.
That is, did you imagine, Mark, what they're doing? Southbridge Dentistry free to veterans and to active duty. Just call, though, first. The event's November 9th. They would like to see you first for a preliminary evaluation. There's no charge for that evaluation or for the care.
Right.
Thank you. 303-798-4967. Pass it along. Free dentistry. 303-798-4967. Southbridge Dentistry. 303-798-4967. Is that wonderful, Jay? Can you imagine that?
That is so cool. There should be a line out the door.
Do you have any veterans working for you?
I've got a couple, yeah. I'm going to pass that information on to them.
No, of the U.S. Armed Forces, not Mexican Armed Forces.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding. That's a roofing joke.
Come on.
It's a roof.
I didn't know we were going to get technical.
Okay. William, what's going on with you, William? Are you there, William?
Oh, yes, Tom.
What's happening, sir? You are a cancer patient, and you called us before, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us your situation.
Well, I was diagnosed in 2014 with stage 4, and they really didn't expect me to see 2016. And after 4 surgeries and a year and a half of chemo, and I'm on a clinical trial now at Anschutz, they've got it stabilized, but still lots of cancer visible. But with your team...
What did you call about first?
Well, about housing. I lost my house.
Right.
My wife left me a couple months ago.
Can you imagine that? That's what sticks out to me in this story.
I know.
That bum of a wife of his, leaving after 30 years. That's wild, man.
I know, it is, but we don't know the situation. I mean, William, it does sound terrible. Do you have a child or children?
I have a son in Michigan and a daughter in Colorado.
They're adults?
Yes.
Okay. So your mom, their mom left. William... I don't want to rehash all of that. I'm sorry about that. I imagine if you look back, maybe you can think of a reason. Do you think it was just the cancer, or maybe you were not taking her? I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, but...
A combination. We never really got along. There was never any cheating or violence or anything like that. But
do you think it would have broken up even without the cancer?
I'd hard to say. I don't know.
So what happens now? You're looking for a place. You called us saying, what did you need?
Well, I was living in a motel. And
running out of money, and then you said you need to come up with money. I remember that.
Right. And without help, I probably would have ended up living in my car because I couldn't save any money on what I make. And
yeah. We always tell people, call us before you fall off the cliff. This is the analogy we use. We are not equipped once somebody falls off the cliff to really get them back up. But if there's something we can do in the meantime just to keep you from going completely off the cliff and keep you abreast. So what happened?
Well, the kindness and efforts of your staff and the listeners.
Donations from listeners,
money,
Tom.
and you folks.
Deputy Daff and Suzanne took this on. Suzanne, I know you did a lot of coordinating. Deputy Daff, as always, these touch your heart. What happened, Suzanne? Explain this.
So we got some listeners and Big Bear Flooring and a couple other referral list members to help out with this gentleman and donate some money for his down deposit on his apartment. And then we matched a little bit, Tom, what we needed to match. Troubleshooter did.
Good. Man, we're so happy about this. Now, obviously, you have a fight ahead of you. And I'm really...
Well, you made my life a lot easier, a lot better, Tom. You and your people.
That's what counts, Tom.
That's what counts.
And now I can focus on my health more.
Yeah, focus on that and give us updates, will you?
I will.
Do you have any support groups or friends?
I have a church I go to.
Good, good. And so let us know how it goes. Give us some updates. We want to hear. And do you feel good about this latest treatment? You said you're on some trial?
Well, it's a clinical trial, so it's experimental. There's a lot of side effects.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Is it a clinical trial of chemo?
Well, they don't. It's an IV treatment and a pill.
Okay.
They don't consider it chemo because chemo kills everything.
Yeah.
This is more of immunotherapy.
Okay.
But it revs up your immune system, so your immune system will attack your body also. My intestines are 3 times their normal size, so it hurts to eat. It's damaged my thyroid and my pancreas. And
well, you keep fighting, and I'll say a prayer for you as well. Also, I want updates. We do care about it, and about you. We're so happy though that we were able to get that housing, and I really thank my staff for working hard on that. Suzanne, Deputy Daff. Denver Egress Windows. This is a company that, well, I've known the Senates for a long, long time. They've been on my referral list for years. And they do egress windows. That's simply an escape route. You commonly call them window wells. And really it's this opening and then a window. Some of the windows are too small for code right now. And that square footage can't be used for bedrooms. And some of it can't be used at all, depending on your municipality. So you need good egress windows for safety, for durability of your foundation and all of that. And a lot of the ones the builders put in, they just crumble, and that crappy, that metal that they have, just that corrugated metal rots out. Well, DenverEgressWindow.com, they can rebuild those. They can put in one where there wasn't one, okay? In other words, they can go to a blank part of your foundation, punch through it, put a window well. They do beautiful work. They're lifetime windows because they put in this beautiful composite material. So give them a call. They can even do a walkout basement on a flat lot, terracing down to a patio. DenverEgressWindow.com, 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHOW, Denver.
Hi, this is Ed Green. Many people dream of a secure retirement. If you worked hard and saved for retirement, it doesn't have to be just a dream.
And this is Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, every Saturday on 630 KHOW. At Blue Heron Capital, we focus on retirement planning, income planning, investment planning, IRAs, 401k rollovers, Roth conversions, Social Security, estate planning, and family wealth preservation, all under one roof. With questions about taxes, inflation, and the fact that we're living longer than ever before, it's never been more important to have a comprehensive, written retirement plan that provides you income you won't outlive.
So call today for a complimentary no-obligation visit with Linda Gardner and learn how a customized retirement plan can help you retire successfully. Call now, 720-488-8604, 720-488-8604, or go to yourmoneyyourretirement.com. That's yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Today is the day you break the stranglehold of addiction. You and your family can't lose another precious day to this horrible disease. If you or someone you know is abusing alcohol, prescription drugs, hard illegal drugs, or if it's a mental health issue, anxiety, depression, or trauma related to substance abuse, please know you're not alone. There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address your concerns. 720-893-5559. That's 720-893-5559. The Raleigh House is a premier addiction recovery program located here in Colorado. You'll speak to someone local about different treatment options, all evidence-based treatments designed to help reduce substance abuse. No more excuses, no more denials. Get the help you need. Some health insurance covers the cost. Call today for a free no-obligation consultation. The Raleigh House, 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. Call today.
Time changes everything. For me, becoming a single parent of 2 young kids changed my ability to use my timeshare. And when my annual maintenance fees nearly tripled over a 3-year period, I had to get out. I'm Brandon Reed, founder of Timeshare Exit Team. We will legally get you out of your timeshare you can't use or afford. Schedule your free consultation. If we can't get you out, we will give you a full refund.
Call 844-955-EXIT. That's 844-955-EXIT or timeshareexitteam.com.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan with credit optimization in order to get even better rates. They also have the Pick Your Term loan. You may not want to go back to 30 years. Pick whatever term you want. If you refinance or you purchase and rates go down, they will refinance you free of all lender fees. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA and MLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL. I am so thrilled we now have a chiropractor on the referral list that actually does adjustments. That entire industry has been polluted by guys. Once they become a chiropractor, they spend their career trying to not be a chiropractor. They get into the supplements, the magic lights, and they get away from what really made chiropractic adjustments. This is a family chiropractic center. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, Bright Light Chiropractic, great guy with a family practice. I went to see him. I'm so excited. He's got x-rays on site. He also has this new spinal scanner that identifies curvature and pressures and misalignments. This hands-on evaluation, $50. And then the adjustments are only $50. And if you get a package of just 10 or more, you can get $35. Veterans are only $30. 720-583-4506. 720-583-4506. BrightonYourFamily.com.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is love for the game.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship, and most of those are worth far less than the cost of tuition. So, why do they play?
My reason why is commitment. My reason why is friendship.
A sense of purpose, love for the game, to help others, friendship. There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports and to participate in other high school activities like cheerleading, debate, and music. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Colorado High School Activities Association.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
Budget A1 transmission and auto repair. Emphasis on auto repair. They don't just do transmissions, but they do have some specials. This one I find hard to believe. Listen carefully to this, okay? Anyone with a car, listen. If you have a transmission problem, now, it's got to be a transmission problem. When you take it to them, if they think it's in the front end, then they'll say, no, it's not a transmission problem, okay? And you get 1 hour of free diagnostics no matter what. But listen to this. If they suspect you have a transmission problem, and they can't just diagnose it and guarantee that, they will tear it apart free of charge for a complete estimate. Free of charge. If you have the repairs done, you're not charged for that teardown. You're not charged for it. If you don't want the repairs done, they will put it back together at a minimal cost or just let you take it somewhere else. Because really, think about it. Once it's taken apart, why not get it fixed? The only reason you wouldn't get it fixed is if it's not worth it because the car is crap or it's just too much. In that case, you don't care if it's put back together, really. I mean, so they will give you the parts and you can take it anywhere. Or, of course, like I said, they'll put it back together at a minimal cost. But think about this. Nowhere else will you get a teardown and inspection absolutely free. Budget A1 transmission and auto repair. That's on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. 303-781-9858. This is unbelievable. 303-781-9858. And they're on our referral list, too. Okay, so we are trying to make a difference in people's lives. You heard it. And we have Julia right now, another one where we tried to make a difference. Julia.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Oh, it's wonderful.
You called us. Tell us what happened originally. You called us, and you needed tires. It was that simple. And you're a hardworking mom. You're a excuse me. You are really grandma taking care of your kids. And your daughter, isn't your daughter in prison?
Yes, sir.
And you just took on your grandchildren, and you're working, and you're not complaining, and you just want help. And you said, I just need a break. You needed some tires. You touched us. We obviously wanted to verify your story, but your story touched us. What happened, Julia?
One of your listeners was so kind and generous and offered to pay for the tires, and I give a very heartfelt thanks to that listener and to the Tom Martino Show, everyone there, and I'm at Sheridan Auto Tech now, that's getting ready to get my tires put on, and our safety is, I feel much better about everyone's safety.
That's great.
Kevin's such a great guy, too.
Good
man.
stuff. Sheridan Auto Tech. And you, Julia, thank you for trusting us. And do me a favor, tell people about the show so that if they need help, they can get it. And
I do.
Let us know if you need anything else, okay?
Talk about quick. She called yesterday. That's quick.
And Kevin was listening. And by the way, Kevin's a great guy. Kevin Calkin, at Sheridan Auto Tech. But we had other people chime in right away, didn't we, Suzanne?
Yes,
we have wonderful listeners, and we were going to help too. And it's just so nice when we can all come together to help. 303-713-TALK. Now, Suzanne, did you keep Michelle on for a reason?
No, I didn't know if you were finished.
Oh, I'm
with
sorry.
her.
Michelle, I don't want you to think we were pushing you off. We do have names of attorneys. And, you called. We did get some comments from people and said, that, 40 felonies sounds excessive, and it almost has to be a setup. There's no way someone can do that much. And some people did agree with you. Others said he just sounds like, he's just a troublemaker. So you get two extremes. So remember, I told you, Joe Lazzara is the one to start with, 303-429-6200. But, Michelle, did you have a message that you wanted to get out about because you feel victimized? Your husband has 45
when
felonies?
he gets out, they should at least move from Craig. I mean, nothing good's going to happen
have
there.
Have you guys ever... well, she's saying it's more than just Craig. Michelle, how many police departments are involved? Are you there? She may not still be there. Okay, so she's not there. Let's free up that line. Thank you. I am amazed at how parents and husbands and wives and grandparents stick up for their relatives. When you hear some of the stories, you know, it's amazing to me that they stick with them. They don't just say, you know what, you got what you deserve.
We had that one lady call in last year. Her grandson was bullying her around the house.
She heard him on the
tears. Oh, we could hear her. We called the cops. The cops go out there. She changed her whole story. Everything was different. It's the strangest thing.
He got on the phone with us, and he was abusive to his grandma. I need money. What did he say? I can't live on this much. I need more. And then he
give me your car.
He got on the phone to us and was this big shot telling us how it is, and well, you can't talk to me like that.
But she went from crying and calling a radio station or a show for help to everything was cool and, you know, don't bother us. It was the wildest thing. I don't get it.
303-713-TALK. Now, Samantha, no heat for 2 weeks. Now, by the way, I saw on, what was it, Channel 7 last night, another complex didn't have furnaces operating with the cold weather. There are a lot of slumlords out there. Then there are people who just, they're not slumlords. They have a heat outage. It's hard to get somebody in at the last minute. We'll examine Samantha's problem, and meanwhile take calls from you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Artofgranite.net means saving money, and you can prove it by calling and getting your price on the phone. Mitch Fleury is so confident with what he does and how he does it, he can give you a price on the phone. Now, get this, though. There's no way to really compare quality, but he will give you a price, and that starts there. At least go out and see him, or at least have someone come to your house. Here's the deal, all right? He doesn't charge for anything except fabrication and installation. He charges his absolute cost on materials. He's a direct stone importer, and then a small markup on cabinets. So he can give you a price pretty easily. He doesn't charge for tearing out and hauling away. He doesn't charge for the bathroom when you have the kitchen done at the same time. Artofgranite.net, you can get your price from him on the phone, artofgranite.net. Once you do that, Mark has done this, by the way. It doesn't change by more than $100 or so. 303-386-5919. 386-5919. Artofgranite.net.
What do you think of that Kavanaugh vote, Jay?
I think that Kavanaugh, the whole thing was just, it was BS. They should have brought that lady, Dr. Ford, forward weeks earlier. It was all politics, is what it was. The Dems were just trying to push the thing into the midterm election because usually the party out of power wins the midterm election.
Yeah, but those were some real dirty tricks, man. Yeah, I think that was a whole new low.
That was even worse than the black Supreme Court justice, what they did to him.
Clarence Thomas.
This was the worst of all.
Oh, yeah. I hope both sides get their shit together because, man, I think Russia did exactly what Russia wanted to do. They basically tore us apart. I mean, honest to God.
Their whole goal was to create chaos.
And they did a damn good job. And once that chaos starts, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
It's almost like a snowball.
Sure is. And for sure, they wanted Trump instead of Hillary. The Russians did.
I don't know if they do anymore, but you're right.
But no,
I agree.
Because Hillary was all up in their stuff about Crimea. When they annexed Crimea, and Putin was really pissed off about that. So that's why I think he wanted Trump.
I think they did to both people. I think they did,
but I think they really wanted Trump more, but their overriding goal was just to create chaos.
They did.
And that's what they've done.
They did exactly what I did. We had a caller about a year ago, who wanted to take his daughter out hunting. She was only 8 or 10 years old. And someone said, hey, you can come up and use our private land. So about 2 weeks later, they sent us a picture. They went out, they went hunting. It was great. And it's this little girl holding this dead goose, okay, by the neck. Just cute. I mean, the goose is actually bigger than her.
She was cute.
So I take that, I create a Facebook post, I send it out to PETA, and I send it out to hunting societies. That's exactly what Russia did. There's no damn difference. You should have seen this thing. I have never seen comments about a little girl.
PETA, but from the PETA people.
From the PETA people. It was unbelievable, man. Look at that stupid little bitch. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was crazy. That thing took off. We had like 100,000 views on that.
They're terrible people.
But that's exactly what Russia did.
That is one thing about the left wing, is that it's like, they can't be too vicious. Right. But I think the right wing, they're very cautious about being too vicious, because if they are, then they get their ass nailed for it. But it seems like the left wing gets a pass.
I ran for House Representative in Colorado in 2012.
Yeah.
I had a big sit down about what's going to happen to me and what I could not allow to do back.
He's 35. Look at him now after he ran.
Man, they beat on you hard.
But what these guys say is so true, Clint. What the hell haven't you done?
I ended up.
What about that time you ran for president?
You know
Look how little they did Obama.
Thing?
Oh, you were a sex offender.
It's funny you said that. I heard an interview this morning with Sally Field. She played the mother.
Oh, they would.
What a wonderful woman.
Are you serious?
Illegal.
I love hearing that interview. Yeah, you know, they didn't make shit back then. I had no idea. Sally Field, she was, her career started, what is it, Gidget?
Oh, it's Sally Field, I'm sorry.
After Gidget was a flying nun. She made like, I mean, literally back then they made like nothing doing that shit. I mean, like nothing. Very, very little money in TV. I mean, like next to nothing.
That this was stuff was going to happen. And
she said she would have made more being a school teacher.
I didn't take any of it personally. No, they didn't.
She said back then they don't make
family does.
That is correct. Well, that's the unfortunate part.
Obviously, you say the same thing with Kavanaugh, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the athletes today.
You know, that's very true, man. A football player in 1960 didn't make jack shit, or 50.
Pound on you and insult you.
She said that flying nun typecaster was the one thing she wished she never did.
You don't share anything back. You're going to take the high road. Moral high road.
Howard brought that up. She was very elusive about that.
I thought Bert said that.
He didn't. He used to would have got right in her face with it. He did it, so there was something there. Stern, he's really loosened up on these big interviews. He used to get right in their faces like, no, I know you and Bert did something, blah, 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 but he doesn't push that angle anymore.
I think Bert said that's one of his failures in life. He said he was really
Burt Reynolds?
He said that was his one big regret.
That Smokey and the Bandit made a ton of money. $300 million back then.
You guys will investigate it.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Buyandbuild.net. You heard me talk about Art of Granite. Buy and Build is a little different. Buy and Build is where you go and buy those slabs, and they can fabricate them too, but you have your contractor go, or you go, or you can buy remnants, or you can buy cabinets, and, you know, you can go yourself or send your builder. You will get below wholesale price almost anything. So it's for your own projects, your floor coverings like hardwood floors and laminates. If they have them in stock, you'll save tons of money. It's not a place where you order stuff. It's you go there and whatever they have in that big giant warehouse, 4800 Washington Street, including they have light fixtures and plumbing fixtures for pennies on the dollar compared to Home Depot and Lowe's and all those others, and especially the lighting stores and the plumbing supply houses. That's buyandbuild.net, and that's 4800 Washington Street. Okay, let's keep going. Jay Bretz is with us from Excel Roofing, and he's going to chime in from time to time on business and other things. If you have any roofing, though, questions, you can call us on that for sure. We're trying to help you solve your problems, answer your questions. Samantha, she contacted us, and we're getting back to her. She said no heat for 2 weeks. Now, Samantha, what is the story? Are they claiming what? That they're not going to provide it? Are they ignoring you, or did it break, and they're saying they're trying to fix it?
So basically, the hot water heater broke, and we didn't have hot water for 2 weeks.
Now, this is a big boiler in a big building?
Yeah, it's a huge complex.
Now, is this the one Channel 7 did a story on?
I don't know. It's Club Valencia.
Oh, where is it located?
On Parker Road and Ulster.
Yeah, I don't think that was the one, man. So, okay, so the boiler's broke. How many apartments?
There's about roughly 300.
Oh my gosh! And when did the boiler go out?
It went out for 2 weeks. Now we're without heat.
Well, that's all part of hot water. Do you have baseboard heat? What kind of heat?
Just like the one you said.
Okay, so it's all part of the same system, the boiler?
Yeah.
What does the landlord or the manager say?
My landlord, she owns it.
Oh,
but
so
the other people.
Well, I get it. You're renting from someone who owns their unit. Okay, so
Yes.
so that's your landlord. But what does the building management say, or is it just your place? Does it have one central unit, or does each apartment have its own?
Each apartment has its own.
Okay, so we're just dealing with you then, not the whole building.
No. Actually, the boiler is downstairs. Like, it has different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I'm trying to get, here's what I'm trying to figure out. You do have hot water right now, right?
We have hot water right now, but we don't have heat.
Okay. Is the hot water central to everyone? So in other words, everyone shares the hot water, the same boiler. You don't have a boiler in your place and your neighbor has another boiler. It's all one big unit, right?
It's all different sections, but the thing about it is it's a hazard. They need to be looked at.
But okay, still, for heat, do you have, in your place, in your apartment or condo, do you have your own heater? Is it your own furnace, or is it a central furnace? Do you know? If you don't know, that's fine too, Samantha. I
don't know.
Okay. Then give us your landlord's name and the building's name, and let's figure this out. Hold on. There's no sense really talking until we know what we're looking at. Is this an errant landlord or a property manager? And Deputy Clint's going to go and talk to you, and we're going to try to figure out what we're looking at. We have a number of landlords all over the city. Now, I don't know why this happens. Everyone knows winter comes around once a year, doesn't it? And it stays for several months. But these places are caught off guard with no heat. How the hell does that happen every year? I don't understand it. Call us if you're having this problem. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan.
I don't even understand how this happened. I have no idea what this charge on my fucking card is. I hate this shit. I cannot figure out Beijing.
You were at Beijing?
Who were you trying to post it to?
Well, no, I want to take an old YouTube video.
I
can't figure out how to do it on a Facebook. I want to give it a new publish date so it goes to the top. We have one that did. I was looking at it this morning. 7.7 million, 77,000 shares. No, 77,000 comments, 63,000 shares. I went to repost it, and I can't figure out how to do it.
That's one of your videos?
Yeah, it was one of ours.
7 million views?
7.7 million views.
Which one is it?
It's a guy in a Ford truck going down the road like this. And he's talking. He's not talking. I overlaid a conversation he had with the Ford dealer, and the Ford dealer is telling him it's normal. It's the best.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on our Facebook. It's the craziest shit ever, Jay. We were sitting, I posted it on a Friday. 2 hours later, we're in the hot tub at home. He's in New York or somewhere. All of a sudden, my phone goes ding, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's a Facebook notification. I don't think much of it. Within 30 seconds, it does not stop dinging. Ding, 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 ding. It went to like 100, it was doing 100,000 people like every 8 minutes. Wow. It was the craziest shit I ever seen.
I can't believe I've never seen it.
Oh, the guy is, here, come over here, I'll show you.
You've heard of the death law. That's what this is.
It was the craziest shit ever. But I was trying to put it back up on the front page. Here, come over here. I'll show you the video. It's just so buried now.
Successor announced yet. President Trump urging everyone in the path of Hurricane Michael to be careful, tweeting a short time ago that it's imperative to heed local and state warnings. The storm's now only about 300 miles off the coast of the Florida Panhandle. Fox's Evan Brown live in Miami.
Evacuations are now.
That's the senator in North Dakota. She's going to lose.
Florida, that's Panama.
She didn't vote for him. But is she Republican? He carried the state by a shitload.
Yeah. And the people, when they took a poll there, 60-40 believed in Kavanaugh in North Dakota.
Look at this thing.
Oh, it was terrible.
You can't hear the
bordering on Category 3.
What was he doing to purchase this vehicle? He's down the highway at 65.
I thought you were going to show me like some 67 Ford truck or something.
No. It's a brand new $90,000 Ford. It's a platinum.
Holy shit, that's a platinum truck.
90,000. 90,000. Actually, it's more now. It's like 93 grand. I had a bunch of people go, "There's no F-250 that's there." Fuck yeah, there is, man. You can drop 90, 100 grand on a Ford F-250.
This is tough. Thinking about life insurance.
So, but over the top of this, you hear the dealer telling him it's normal and to quit driving like a maniac. And if he wants a fast truck, he needs to buy an F-250. Meanwhile, he's zooming in on the speedometer. He's doing like 65. But it's weird. Once everything's cool, then he hits a bump. Once he hits a bump, it goes into this death wobble. It's the craziest thing. We got to reach out to him and see if he ever got a new truck.
So Ford never reached out to you?
I'll tell you.
Free quote called 800-509-1667. That's 800-509-1667. 800-509-1667. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop. You save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. The price could vary depending on your health insurance company and other factors. Not available in all states.
Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center. This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Cloudy with a chance of showers today and a high of 41. Tonight, cloudy and a low around 30. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 37. Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high of 49.
Frozen, I know. Start with Lowe's and save 5% on eligible purchases every day made with a Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% savings in-store and online. Subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
Check Game, Affordable Interest Mortgage, has been offering the Asset Manager All-in-One for over 11 years. We are experienced in helping homeowners pay thousands less in interest on their mortgage, own their home faster.
That is crazy. I've never experienced it. Up until then, it's like 15, 20,000. It's like, woo! Now it's off. So we sat around trying to figure out, how do we duplicate it?
Well,
there's not much to it.
The reason it did it is because it was so fucking ridiculous.
It was so egregious.
I mean, when the guys say, well, you know, you're not supposed to go over 65 miles an hour, people can't help but react to that.
Dude, if that guy's still working, I just would be dumbfounded. It was the craziest ever.
Well, those trucks are not made to go more than 65 miles an hour.
And that shit always happens to me when he's at a fucking town.
Not supposed to go to 65.
I know.
Can you believe he said that? I mean,
so it was a combination of that happening with the guy talking that was just so unbelievable. That was it. And sometimes you can't just duplicate that shit. It just has to happen.
No, because how do you get somebody sound that stupid on the phone?
Well, even if it's happening, or you plan it.
And the great news here is that Dr.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but then it's almost like it doesn't work when you try to orchestrate it.
No broken bones, and it's
so basic.
Long recovery times.
The guys are.
And because of his amazing work, time embraces.
And he's not talking to the guy at that time. I took the audio of one of his calls and laid it over. It's just the damnedest thing.
At Aurora Orthodontics.
So that was one of the audios from the show?
303-690.
No, it was him literally he recorded himself talking to the dealer. He brought it back numerous times. They kept telling him it was normal. So finally, he makes his video. His buddy's holding it as he's going down the road. And he sent me the audio of them telling him it's normal. So I just put the audio over there.
Commits a crime.
That's cool. But how many people would make audio of phone calls?
Oh, he was pissed.
Oh man, he was.
Rightfully so.
Now he screwed up too, though. Here's the problem. I know he was frustrated, but at one point they called the cops to escort him out of the dealership. So he threw a monkey wrench in the buyback process because he got pretty threatening. But man, I think
it's hard to blame him.
I'd be pretty threatening at that point too.
Whatever happened with him, do we know?
No, in fact, I was telling Dan we should get an update.
We should.
Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling
Hello,
down.
I'm Tom Martino. Thank you for being here this hour, brought to you by Fix-It 24/7. Fix-It 24/7 thanks you for trusting them with their plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. They are responding, offering 100% guarantee satisfaction. That's what you get with Fix-It 24/7. Now, give us a call if you have a problem, question, or complaint, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One thing I want to mention about Fix-It 24/7, when they guarantee their results, they guarantee, meaning they will find the problem and fix it for what they say. And they give you all prices up front. They are vital home services that you should not entrust to just anyone. So, Fix-It 24/7 is a credit to the community and to its employees. In fact, listen to this. If you want to be part of this team of ever-expanding experts with excellent benefits, give them a call as well. They're hiring in all facets, in all areas. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drains, office support staff. 720-526-3939. It's a good company. FixMyHome.com. That's 720-526-3939. So Paul's got some kudos to pass on. We love getting feedback for sure. Go ahead, Paul. What is your feedback for us on the Troubleshooter Show?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
First of all, thanks for having the referral list. I've been using it exclusively for any of my needs, and it's worked out great.
Thank you so much. What's happening?
Well, first off, I live in Colorado Springs. We obviously had some horrible hailstorms.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, before filing my insurance claim, I called Matt at Paragon Services.
Yes, yes.
And
public adjuster.
I tell you, Tom, it's the first time, and like I was telling the screener, I've had multiple roofs in the last 10 years because of the hail down here, and this, using a public adjuster, is the first time I did that. I tell you what, that's the only way to go.
How much did he get you?
He got me about $22,000 with personal property and roof and paint. I mean, stuff that I would have never even looked at.
How much did you get on one of the former claims that you said you had?
Yeah, like this was
like half that?
This was probably double, wasn't it?
Oh, more than that, because they came out before. My last roof was like 5 years ago, and before that, 3 years ago, and 3 years before that. So in the last 10 years, this would be my third new roof. And the first one, they just came out and they just gave me the roof.
Right. They never look beyond that. And in fact, Paul, normally they don't even give you full price for that. You know, even if you have an excellent roofer, if you have water involved, eaves involved, windows, siding, you need someone to fight for you. You need someone to fight for you. Look, a good public adjuster, if he can't do you any good, he'll tell you, and that's why we have them on the referral list.
Real quick, best example ever.
Paul, what about Compass? You had something about Compass. Go ahead.
I did. Well, this all started about a year ago. I got on to try Compass to change insurance companies because I'd been with another big company for like 25 years. They cut my insurance rates for my home in half, and with a cheaper deductible, and with more insurance.
God, isn't that wonderful?
Oh my, did a great job. But Tom, I was really worried about, a new company. How are they going to handle claims?
Yeah.
And Matt with Paragon ran everything through them, and Acuity is the one who Compass got
great company.
My insurance with.
Great company.
And I tell you what, this whole claims process has been the best I've ever had.
Isn't that wonderful? See, so now we're talking about Compass Insurance Group. We're talking about Paragon Services. The thing about Compass, if you do an insurance checkup, they'll be honest with you. If you have a good deal, fine. But most people, if you've had insurance more than 3 years, you should change, even if you have a good company. Because the nature of insurance is that old customers get dinged and new customers get better deals. It just is the way it is. Mark wants to give an example of how a public adjuster helped one time.
This was absolutely
You're talking about
craziest.
the old lady with the 80 grand?
She had a skylight.
8,000, I mean.
She was going to pay someone $2,000 to fix her skylight. It ended up
they would only give her $800. They only wanted to give her $800. Only $800.
And it was going to cost $2,000 to fix.
Right. So she was going to throw in her own $1,200.
That's right. Well, no, she had a deductible. That was going to be it.
She had a $1,000 deductible. That it was going to cost $1,800. They gave her $800, and we said don't take it. Mark sent out a public adjuster.
$80K.
$80,000.
What else do you say?
From 800.
100 times.
To 80,000. Charles, you have a roofing concern. Go ahead, Charles.
Hello, Tom.
Hey.
I have a roofing problem. It started on March 17th. I got a bid from a company. Is it okay to give the name?
Yes, of course.
Advanced Exteriors.
Okay.
And $17,525. So I decided to go ahead with that and wrote them a check for half of that amount, $8,762 on April 9th. And then I get an additional bill or estimate to be added to this on the 17th of April, so it's 8 days later, so they've already got my check in hand.
Well, hold on, though. Sometimes it's legit. I mean, they start tearing open the roof, and it's called an auxiliary claim. Is that right?
That's right.
They haven't started.
Well, okay.
A supplement.
They have not started.
Hold on. So they gave you a supplemental claim without starting?
Yes.
Okay, so the original bid was how much?
$17,525.
Okay, and then the supplemental was how much?
$5,560.
Did they say why?
They missed something.
Oh,
is what they said.
How would they know that though, Jay? If they took it back in the house and was writing it up, and they were writing this up, how would they know? What do you think happened? What do you think happened, or you don't know?
Well, my guess would be that they put it into the insurance software, Xactimate, and the insurance software came up with an additional $5,000. So at that point, they said we need to file a supplement for the claim.
So what I did, if it had been up front $23,000, I probably wouldn't have gone ahead with the contract.
Well, Charles, did your insurance company approve it or not?
This is out of my own pocket.
Wait, why?
Whoa, hold on, that's different.
Why was it out of your own pocket? I don't understand.
It's an old roof, old house, old property that I bought.
You were just literally having your roof done?
Yes.
Did you go and get other estimates?
I got another one.
And what did that turn out to be? I mean, first of all, did you have that job? Did you have that company do the job? Advanced? Did they do the job?
No, the roof has not been done.
Okay, hold on.
I backed out of the contract.
Okay.
And they kept 15% of my deposit.
Oh no! Oh no! Why did they keep that?
Instead.
So you had already signed.
Contract.
Wait, just hold on. You signed the first contract for 17. They wanted you to sign for 55 more. Is that right?
Yes.
And you said no. Is that correct? Or did you sign and change?
Correct.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Then they can't give you a penalty for the first one if they changed it.
That's what I think.
Well, how much did they withhold then?
Like $2,600.
They're not allowed to. They're not. Listen, if these people change the contract, so they're saying to you, you're not allowed to back out of that $17,000 contract, even though we're adding $5,000 to it. So let me get this straight, because I want to make sure you're telling the truth. I have a feeling you're missing something, because no one is that stupid to do this in roofing, to give you, it's giving you a contract. That's like I give someone a contract for $17,000. And then I come back to them. They sign that contract for $17,000. Then I come back to them and say, you know what? It's going to be $100,000 more. And they say, well, I can't afford that. Then I say, okay, then we're going to take 25% of the 17,000. Now that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Are you sure they didn't say this? It's going to be 17,525, but there's some extra work we could do that will bring it up to 5,500. However, if you don't want to have that done, fine, we'll stick with the 17. Or would that $17,000 original bid be incomplete if they did it as specified? That's what I need to know. What is the story?
Well, the story is they said they missed something
and is it
was required by the city of Wheat Ridge.
Okay, if it's required, then they could not do the $17,000 500 contract without doing that additional work. Is that right?
That's right.
So then hold them to the $17,500 contract. In other words, they can't have it both ways. They can't increase the price without giving you an out. Now, why the hell, when did this happen? When did they withhold your money?
I've got a check in hand for $61.33 that is dated August 20th.
$61.33. So they took money out of your down payment. Jay, this sounds screwed up to me. Does this sound...
It's screwed up, Tom, for sure. But this is what I'm afraid of. They probably have a contingency in the original contract that says $55 per sheet for additional decking. They probably came back and said that Charles needs new decking on his house. Is that what is the additional $5,000 for, Charles? They should be specifically telling you what it's for.
Did they say exactly what it is?
Yeah, I have the contract.
What is it for?
Here.
What is it?
Poly ISO board to be installed. It's a low angle, low pitch roof.
So it's a flat roof, and they're saying that they have to do all brand new decking underneath.
I understand, but unless they warned him about it in the first contract, they can't just raise the price.
I agree with you, Tom. And with guys, when they do a flat roof, they're supposed to do a core sample, which means that you drill a hole in the roof and you see what's going on all the way underneath. And they should have known
that, so we can look at it.
But here's the deal: send us the original agreement. Do you want your money back? Your $1,600 or whatever, or $2,600?
Yeah, the full $87.62. They're the ones that changed. It wasn't my fault.
That's exactly right. Here, I want Clint. When you call them, I want you to use this logic. They're saying he canceled the $17,500 contract. No, he didn't. They wanted to change it, and now they're saying because he wouldn't go along with the change, they're going to keep his money. That's like saying, I mean, what would prevent them from saying you need another $100,000 worth of work? This is, what's the name of this place?
Advanced Exteriors.
I hope to God you didn't, they're not on the referral list, are they?
No, they're not, Tom.
Of course not. No company doing business like that. Advanced Exteriors, we're going to call them right now. I want people to stay tuned because if they did this, if this is true, and I also want to see the original contract, if this is true, it is the most horrendous excuse for a roofing contractor I ever heard of. 303-713-TALK. I want to bring your attention to a very serious problem. We all heard of the opioid epidemic, addiction. We also heard of other substances people are addicted to. The Raleigh House treats addiction. This number I'm going to give you is not for treatment. It's for help and information on anything you need to know about addiction. You can ask about the Raleigh House and their wonderful program that's medically based and psychologically based. You can also ask about other programs, about insurance coverages, about costs. You can ask about approaching an addict in your life. How do you know if there's a problem? How do you know if it's getting worse? What do you say to them? All of these things you can ask free of charge. Everything is confidential. No limitation to your questions. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com.
Would there be something written in the contract?
Yes, like you said.
There might be a contingency in that. But flat roofs,
But it has to be reasonable.
They're a different deal than houses where all of a sudden, we encounter bad wood, we didn't know it was going to be there. On a flat roof, they should be doing a sample and figuring out what's going on in there. My guess is they went back to the city of Wheat Ridge, and the city of Wheat Ridge said, we have to do this polyiso board. And maybe they didn't know it. Something like that. Maybe it's a commercial, possibly a commercial deal, or like a multifamily. And then all of a sudden they have to do additional stuff.
Overnight low around 30.
They should have known it.
Yeah, he sent us a contract now and it has their phone number on it and everything. So. But, yeah, they knew where they were at when they wrote it. And
flat roofs, I mean, they're a chore. You got to know your stuff.
Don't you have to have that underlayment that seals or heat seals or something too on flat roofs? Or what is it?
Some flat roofs, they have that poly, that big flat roofs are just a totally different ballgame. Than on flat roofs.
I hate flat roofs.
Okay, so flat roofs, they're supposed to have pitch.
Yeah.
So you tear the thing off, and all of a sudden the building's settled in the middle.
Yeah.
So you're kind of putting some pitch to it. And what we usually use is, we use the same stuff that TVs are packed in. It's a poly.
Spread or is it
no, it's sheets of it, and you build this pitch to it, and then you have to put a covering on top of that, maybe a fiberboard. If it's a multi-family, then you have to put a dense deck, which is a concrete board on top of that, and then you have to do the seal, what you're talking about, the roof itself.
We had
It's pretty heavy.
We had one done where they did the spray.
No, it's not too heavy.
Okay. They pitched it with, I think, that deck you were talking about.
Yeah.
And they put holes in it, and they foamed through the holes to hold it up, and then they started from there. This was 20 years ago. But
So was it a foam roof, or did they put some kind of rubber or something?
well, it done exactly what you said. It settled in the middle.
Yeah.
It was a townhouse. And so they took cement board, I think it was some type of cement board product, and they put a ridge down the middle, and they pitched it, but then to support it, they had holes in it that they injected the foam in that
I've never seen that.
held it up.
I mean, I believe it.
Seemed to work. I mean, this was 20-some years ago.
They converted flat to pitch.
Yeah, slight pitch.
Yeah,
Just a very slight
the
pitch.
roof has to have some.
Because it had a deep.
No, but I mean, but they converted it to this.
Yeah.
With and building on top of the under.
They did.
They had to make it watertight.
Yeah, they did something like it was like a
They
cement
just
board product.
rebuilt. They took a truss roof and put it on top, basically. Right?
You can do it with foam.
They did this with a board, and then they injected foam in, expanding foam through holes to hold the board up. I've never seen it done that way, ever seen it done that way.
Or you take styrofoam, basically, Tom, and you make a puzzle. You say in the center it needs to be 8 inches high, and then you taper it down to 0 at the edges. They call it a taper system. So you tear off the whole thing first, you put your taper system on, and then you put some kind of fiberboard on top of that. But if it's a multifamily or
You got harder remodeling email.
then you're supposed to put concrete board on top of that dense deck, like the stuff you put in your bathrooms and back of the tile.
But you're making an artificial roof.
Absolutely. You're making one with a
But
pitch.
you don't need trusses.
No.
The foam can support the roof, the snow loads.
The foam can support the snow loads.
Why couldn't you do that on a house?
We do. You have to do
No,
it.
I meant new construction. Why couldn't you do that? Is it too expensive? It's more expensive.
I don't understand why
Cheaper to put a pitch on when you're building.
Could you imagine?
No,
instead
a
of
lot of
having an
architects don't do that, and I don't understand why. They still make a flat roof, and then they expect the roofer to come in and pitch it. And it's an additional cost, where if they just did that in the first place, it wouldn't be the additional cost. And buildings always settle in the center, so it just makes sense to build up the center of the roof the highest. It's crazy.
Knoxport, you know about where that is?
Knox and
First to Knoxport. It's a 9-unit. I own these two owned by
Claiborne. Suzanne needs you.
Oh, she got the stuff from them.
The flat roof has different snow than the pitch roof. No, they should have about the same. But the thing about that guy, that last caller, that was in the hail zone from 2 years ago. He said it was an out-of-pocket deal. Something's up there. Maybe he didn't have insurance on the property. That's possible, or something. But that's just another twist to that story. He should have had a hail claim. I don't know if he just bought it. Could have just bought it.
Right here on 630 KHOW.
John Fuller is a personal injury attorney I hope you never need, but if you're injured for any reason, especially a car accident, John Fuller is fully versed in motor vehicle accidents and can help you determine if there is a case and what that case is worth and how you should pursue it and if there is money to collect. All of these are vital elements. First, do you have a case? Should you pursue it? Why would you not pursue it? Well, he's got to look for collection areas. He does all of this evaluation free of charge. If you hire him, you'll only pay if he collects for you. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Any questions, immediately call. Don't wait. Don't let your rights vaporize. 303-597-4500. John Fuller, Fuller Law. 303-597-4500. Accidents, whatever you need, it's personalinjuryco.com. He has all the information you need. So this problem with a roofer is a weird one, and we are definitely calling on it. What's going on, Suzanne?
I thought Clint was calling, but now he's sitting next to you.
No, he is calling. He is. He's going over the contract. Let's talk to Eleanor. Eleanor, what's happening?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Tom. Thank you. Yesterday, my husband and I went to a Chili's in Lakewood.
Yes.
And there was a toothpick in my pasta.
A toothpick in the pasta.
A long toothpick with two sharp ends on it.
With two sharp what on it?
And you know how the toothpicks are sharp on each end?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds more like a skewer than a toothpick. Yeah.
It could have been. I don't know what it was, but I talked to the manager, and he looked like he was about 12 years old, and he didn't seem to understand.
Because he did not have what's called a planned response. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And companies don't train their people. They just train them to say, thank you, have a nice day.
Yeah.
But then when when something goes wrong, thank you, have a nice day doesn't work, and they don't know what to say.
Yeah, well, he didn't really realize the danger that if you had chomped into that.
That's true.
I mean, you could have.
That's what we call woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
It coulda. It
But
coulda.
it's scary.
Right.
Did he at least buy your lunch?
Yeah. Did they do anything?
Well, they took. Well, I didn't eat it. I sent it back because I thought.
And they didn't charge you, obviously.
No, I thought it was a toothpick, though.
What did you want? This is a curious no, and I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm truly wondering. I always ask people this: what would you want?
I think I want to warn people to look at their food before they eat it.
Well, that's good. That's called the greater good theory. But I want to know, you personally, what do you want?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm so upset because I think he fell out of somebody's
Okay, let me
mouth.
put it another way. What kind of a response would have made you satisfied?
Well, to have somebody act like it was important.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Not just, hey, what the hell can we do?
Yeah. Yeah. But I just want to warn people, I guess.
Now,
because
did they do anything at all for you? Suzanne, you seem to allude, you said ask what they did.
I mean, they did try to make it right with her for
Like what
happened.
What did they do?
they gave me 2 coupons for $5 each off our next visit. I don't ever want to go back
Plus,
there.
they didn't charge you for the dinner you had. Plus, they gave you dessert. I mean, it's not like they just, dismissed her.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on now. Eleanor, what is wrong with that? They did acknowledge you. That's why I'm asking, what would they have done differently that would have made you satisfied?
I don't know, just act concerned. That's something terrible. They could have had an ambulance coming there if it got
You may
stuck
not
in my
be
throat.
allowed to act concerned.
No, acting concerned. I know what they mean. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's take a look at that. I'm going to give this to our manager. The manager
She wanted empathy. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Exactly. And then the manager should have come and said, Eleanor, or ma'am, we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, and then shower you with the gifts. But they just want to, that is really weird. And people, they come across this stuff, and they just want to be recognized. 303-713-TALK. We have lines open now for the first time this morning, so you can get right through with a problem, question, or complaint. 303-713-8255. Vaughn, what's happening?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good. What's going on with you?
Well, my roommate, we've been trying to get a portable oxygen tank for him. What do you have, Medicaid?
What does he have?
He's got Medicaid.
And he has cancer, Tom.
He's got Medicaid, and they won't cover it.
All right, so hey, he has Medicaid, and he has does he have cancer?
Yes, he's got cancer. He was diagnosed last November with cancer on the lung, and So he went to chemo and radiation for that, and then they diagnosed him with cancer in the brain. And he's been going through treatment. He went last week, and we've got to go back this week again. And they put him out, and he's got chemo tomorrow again.
Why would Medicaid not handle oxygen? It sounds very weird.
That's what I want to know. Are you sure?
We got about 20 oxygen big old tanks with us, right? But not a portable tank. And first of all, they said they were going to cover a portable tank, and then they said, "Oh,
hold
no,
on.
no, we
they
can't
do
get you a
cover
tank."
oxygen. Let me make this clear. They do cover oxygen,
Correct.
but what you need is a portable one. Now, here's what I need to ask. If you were to get a portable oxygen tank, could you fill it with the oxygen at the house to go out?
I'm not sure. That we called on a used tank. A used tank was $1,495.
Yeah, but I'm asking a question, Vaughn.
David, does that
Vaughn,
oxygen tank is that refillable?
Can you fill it up?
It fills itself, he said.
No, the portable one.
Correct.
Do you want an oxygen generator, or do you want an oxygen tank that you fill up at home?
No, I guess it's an oxygen generator.
Yeah, don't they actually make oxygen to breathe? Is that how they work?
Yes, I think that's how it works.
So what you're saying is your friend just needs some help so he can get out of the house.
Yeah, he's my roommate.
So he can get out of he needs to get out of the house.
Exactly.
Are you guys in Denver?
It's like this Sunday his caseworker called us up and we get to go see the Bronco game.
How did he get to see the Bronco game?
Well, basically, his caseworker through Colorado University Hospital is going to give us 2 tickets for cancer survivors, and we get to go down on the field.
That's so nice.
I don't know how he's going to go down on the field with an oxygen tank with one of the cheerleaders.
Of course.
So we get to go see the Bronco game on Sunday, and they invited me to go with them.
Is there one we can rent?
I'm not sure. We called, and it was $1,495 for a used.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. Let's find out if we can find a place to rent these. Maybe Deputy Daft.
We might have someone passed away and it's been sitting in the closet forever. I mean, who knows?
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Hold on and take Vaughn's information.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, hold on. What we're going to do, Vaughn, we're asking people who may have an old portable tank, a small tank, maybe even one that can be filled, anything for just this ball game, or if they know of any place we can rent these things, to give us a call at 303-MARTINO. That's a good place to leave a message or to talk to us. 303-MARTINO works 24/7. The other thing, you can write to us. The email is help@troubleshooter.com. help@troubleshooter.com. Let's see if we can't rustle up some help for you there. 303-713-TALK is our number here. If you can help him out, help him out. We really want to get this done. Hey, look outside. It's cold. Century RV doesn't care. You know their biggest season is the winter because people buy RVs to go away. That's right. RVs sell more in the winter than any other time. If you want to buy an RV, now's the time at Century RV. You can go to the showroom, which is indoor and climate controlled, in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. Or you can go north, where they also have a service department, at I-25 and 119. That's the highway to Longmont. They're right there on that frontage road. They have new and used RVs with camper trailers starting at just 10 grand, or just under 10 grand, actually. You will love this place. They have blowout prices right now below any internet prices you can find. Check them out. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111.
Concentrator?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, those are expensive.
They are about $2,200.
Yeah, they're the Cadillac of, but you can get by with bottles like that.
Yes, you can. Portable bottle with a little drag along.
Yeah.
I don't know what Medicaid gives, but I can't believe they wouldn't do that. Give them a portable with a little, because especially he's not in the hospice, and he's got brain cancer.
I think that's voluntary.
So check this out.
Right.
This estimator missed this stuff on the contract.
Yeah.
He did. And because they're saying
Exactly what you said.
this given to
But then how can they hold them to it?
Advanced Exteriors, they're saying we're giving the guy a gift. We're going to do all this additional work at cost.
So what? If he
So
doesn't
I
do
know.
it?
I know. So
Do you see any clause in there that says?
So they should be giving the guy. They shouldn't hold him to the.
Right.
They shouldn't be holding him to the cancellation fee.
Wait, you better call him and tell him.
It's not like he just up and decided.
He didn't send us the original contract yet. It's
So I think Advanced Exteriors are saying.
Although I can't see anything that would make. How do you make someone stick to a contract that you've altered?
And
There's
then-
also a thing that says additional work on 2 houses.
This doesn't have the cancellation fee in it, so I'm really curious.
I know, we need the original contract.
Is this all the fine print right here?
Does it talk about adding stuff though?
You know what? This is the fine print. I'm sure it's in there.
I read through it. I didn't.
So this is, I think Advanced Exteriors is saying, hey, we made a mistake.
Are you
sorry? We're going to do this
I don't want
additional work at cost.
Yeah.
And so they're
You get your flu
they're
shot?
trying to give them.
I'm getting it today, I think. Did you get yours?
Say no, forget it then, and not have to pay cancellation.
Yeah, it always is. It seems to get worse each year,
This
doesn't
might
it?
be a good deal.
I've never had it, but I always get the flu shot. Daphne, I know you're listening. She had the flu a couple years ago. She won't get a flu shot. I don't know.
That's quite a bit of work.
She thinks it'll kill her or something. I don't know. She also believes in chemtrails.
People are so ridiculous that think that the flu shot's going to give them the flu.
There's been some weird cases where, based on religious views, people don't get certain shots for their kids, even though they're, on death's door, which is
Well, that's crazy. But you know the other part of that, so these people that don't want to vaccinate their kids, do you want your kids going to school with those kids that are vaccinated?
No,
I
hell
don't
no.
either. I don't either. So, okay, if they don't want to get
I
their
think
kids
public
vaccinated-
school, don't they demand some
Somebody.
I don't think they can. I think they used to, but I don't think they can anymore.
I've been actually out for 3 weeks at practice.
Uh-huh.
I got a damn home. If you don't want to get your parasite in you, they have to.
They don't want you.
That's right. As a patient.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's dangerous.
It's in the damn worst system. The people that
We had a neighbor who did a chicken pox party. So everybody would get chicken pox instead of just doing it. But my understanding now is if you had chicken pox, you get shingles, right? Isn't it the same virus that comes back or something like that?
after a while. I got a shingles get rid of it.
I don't know why you wouldn't get a chicken pox vaccine.
I did. Did you get the new one? Well, just came out like in the last year or so.
Mine was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't have the.
I mean, they never even had one before that, so why would it be new? It's
No, they had one before.
Yeah, chicken pox.
Shingles? Absolutely they did. My folks got one about 5 years ago.
Nah.
Absolutely.
I think you're talking about a new one. Then why is there a new one?
A new one is actually, yeah, it's more better.
It's more better blues.
Why did they think it originated in Washington?
She told me it was brand new.
Maybe you got the new one. Maybe you got the new one.
CDC was there. And you had to be over a certain age. 52 people that have had it.
Well, I'm sure you qualify.
For getting paid for, yeah, insurance.
That was 6.
Hey, I heard you kicked his ass at bowling, by the way.
Oh yeah, you hobbled up to.
Was he horrible?
Yeah.
I mean, like, did he have the bumpers up horrible?
You know, he was giving it his all. His curve, though, it was curving to the
Tell
right.
me a
and then
real,
curving to the left.
tell me a real score.
Actually,
Give me a real score. Over 100?
because we all did
He
bad.
says no.
But you know something?
Under 50.
I never bowl ever. I mean,
I love bowling.
I don't even know how.
That might have been my 15th
Honest to
time
God,
ever.
I can't tell you.
That's what Jay
I
said.
I cannot make the ball 2 times in a row go in the same direction with everything in my power.
I can't make a gutter go.
You think you're a better ping pong player than you are?
You said you were hobbling. You have to hobble the foot too?
Yeah, my legs. We have to play.
Yes,
I like ping pong.
Yeah, I think so. We were going to play that night in your place.
We didn't put the
I don't
time.
know if I'm better, but I know that I can play ping pong. I literally can.
It takes me about 10 games to get back into my groove. It is tough. The first couple,
Then we should play 10 games without any
practice.
No, without any score.
It was just like that for a while.
Without any care.
All right, I got the rest of it. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Plumline Services is doing free second opinions on all major repairs You need a water heater, a furnace, someone's telling you need an electrical panel change out, whatever it is, they will do free second opinions, free. PlumlineServices.com. Also, they'll clear your drain if it's clogged for $93 or the call is free. Now, even with the free call, because they can't get it unclogged, they will give you a full written report as to what is wrong at their dime. You don't pay for that. If you have the work done, they have their own drain division to do it, and they have new technology that can fix drains without excavating in many, many cases. Plumline Services, $93 are free with drain clearing or free second opinions on all major repairs. 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086, PlumlineServices.com. So, Vaughn is looking for a portable oxygen tank for his roommate. If anyone has a handle on that, or what you call a concentrator, and that just basically makes oxygen for you to breathe. If you have a handle on that, whether renting or buying or getting one for the needy, I don't know, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Now, I have Excel Roofing with me. Jay Bretz is the owner. We're going over this roofing contract. We're not giving legal advice. We're just looking at what was specified. And I have to tell you, man, this Advanced Exteriors, I don't know how the hell they think they can get away with this. You know, they have a contract. Is there a mic on over there? They have a contract that has a 20% penalty, they say. Let's say that is so. But they altered the contract by offering an auxiliary contract. So here, they offer one contract at $17,500. They offer a second contract for $5,500. They tell him, according to him, you can't have the first one done without the second one. So he is saying, well, then I don't want either of them done. And they're saying, no, you have to go through with it or we're going to keep your deposit. Now, how can Advanced Exteriors keep their deposit, keep his deposit, or 20%? How can they do that? I mean, what would prevent, under their theory, what would prevent Advanced Exteriors from making a bid, a contract, getting it signed, then coming back and telling the homeowner it's going to be $25,000 more, and the homeowner says, no, okay, well then you owe us a penalty. To me, it's the most jacked up situation I have ever heard of, and you should never, if this is the case, ever use Advanced Exteriors. This is, to me, extortion. I can see if a consumer signs a contract and decides to cancel, I can see having a penalty if you lose money. By the way, Excel Roofing has no penalties and none of this stuff. But I can see penalties if you sign your name and back out. But not if you sign your name and then they tell you, not only do you have to do this contract, in order to make it right, we have to add $5,000 to it. How can they possibly make you pay more money and penalize you if you don't?
Or unless they explain to them, hey, once we get some of these shingles off and look at the decking or whatever the case may be, it might cost more. But it sounds like they didn't even do that.
But even if they did do that, let's say they put in the initial contract that we may find more damage and you're still obligated. What would it doesn't say how much the damage is. What if Advanced Exteriors wanted to charge $100,000 for additional damage?
That's a good point.
What I'm saying is that how do you make someone responsible? It could say maybe the contract may alter by 10 or 20% or some kind of. I mean, I imagine there might be wording that would be acceptable. But Jay, this sucks, man. If everything we're seeing is true, this sucks. If they told him we're keeping your money,
it does.
I mean, how do you do that?
This is what I think, based on my opinion, going over the contracts. I think Advanced Exteriors, and we should make a distinction, Tom. This is important. There's two different Advanced Exteriors in the metro area. There's one that operates out of Fort Collins, and we're not talking about those guys. We're talking about the one in the Denver metro area.
How do we know they're different?
I know they're different.
Okay.
It's two different companies. And so what we're talking about here, I think Advanced Exteriors in Denver made a mistake bidding the job.
Okay.
So they came back with this $5,000 additional. And, you know, we all make mistakes sometimes.
Right.
And I can understand them making the mistake.
But you can't make them stick to it.
But then holding the guy responsible and taking or holding him responsible for the cancellation clause, that's what I don't think is right.
I want to know what you guys think. Think about that. You get a contract for X amount of dollars.
We should get these clowns on
and
the
then
air.
I hope Clint is calling, Suzanne. Is he in there calling? Because we need to get these guys on. I can't believe they would do this. I believe there is something missing to the story. I don't know what.
I don't think there is. Not on this one.
All right, we'll see. I believe, okay, we'll see. It could be. Shannon, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, you helped me about 2 weeks ago with a air duct company who came out and I bought a Groupon, and when they came out to do the job,
yes,
they were going to charge me another $400.
I remember that.
Yeah, Brandon got on the phone, and he, after talking with you, he and I spoke privately, and I just wanted to call and commend both you, but also recognize his company and his level of professionalism. Not only did he come out and do the job thoroughly, but in an effort to make things right, he also gave me an additional sanitization. And so he brought 3 people out to do the job, so instead of it being a 4-hour job, it only took about an hour and a half. And
that's good. That is really good to know. So because what had happened was they made an offer, and it really was a distinction. You truly didn't buy the one that you thought you did, but it was a little confusing. And because of that, he said, look, we don't want anyone unhappy. We're going to go ahead and do what she thought she was getting anyway. And I thought it was wonderful.
I always struggle with this question, though. If she didn't call up, would they have still done it? What do you think? I'm asking her.
I don't know. I don't know. And here's why I think. I think that maybe not, but not because they weren't willing, but because she wasn't communicating exactly what her concerns were, and they weren't communicating back exactly what they had sold. I think it was truly a company and a consumer saying 2 different things, both of them accurate, but not understanding each other. So anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you get in with your problem, question, complaint, we'll take it. Plus, we have another hour to go. That's 303-713-TALK. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. No 2 loans are the same. Ideal will even take a look at your current loan package that you're presented with in process. Did you know if you don't like the progress of your loan, you can go to another lender? You're not obligated until you sign to be obligated. So, if you think someone lied to you, or they're maybe increasing cost or delaying, Ideal Home Loans will take a look at your loan portfolio, your loan package, if you have one, and you want a second opinion at no charge to you. And if they transfer it, they'll make sure it's at no charge to you. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan or for your second opinion. Ideal Home Loans. And when you're looking at real estate and you want to buy, don't forget their pre-approval. It's like a cash deal, literally a cash deal. Because as soon as you get the title work, they're ready to close because you're already pre-approved. And, of course, I would think of no one better to write up that deal than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank is better than anyone in the business as a person and as a businessman. He will take care of you with his team as if you are the only customer. 303-920-1622. He knows how to write the offers to get them to the top. He also knows how to stage your home to get it sold sooner and for more money. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Colorado thing on roofers that if they change the value of the invalid contract?
No, what that says is if the insurance company changes the settlement amount, then it restarts the clock on the 3-day right of rescission for the customer. There's nothing in the Colorado law, though, about changing. And his contract does contain the correct language for the Colorado law. You're supposed to say that you can't cover deductibles. You're supposed to say any down payment will be held in trust, and he says that on the he doesn't list his liability insurance, which you're supposed to do, and he doesn't have an approximate start date. Maybe he's got it on his other contract. 32.
Would be traffic and weather, right?
But he's more or less in compliance with the Colorado
So
law.
I thought that your value change, or, you know, the contract change.
We know what they're going
It's,
to do.
if the insurance settlement comes up. And I've talked with that with you guys before, I think that's what you're referring to. That gives people an out, that if they can get them to
Will they come on the air?
Talk a lot about stem cell therapy.
The guy's not there, but she said they have a form they sent to him where he signed to agree to the 15%, so she's gonna send that to me.
Well, we already got that. What the, that's in their cancellation policy. What's that got to do with anything?
It is?
He signed it.
He signed
She
something.
says he signed some kind of agreement.
Yeah,
something like
accept the 15%.
That's fine, but that's what my only point, Clint, is. That's when the contract was X amount, not after they.
Yeah, I get it, but I'd like to have
No,
all.
maybe he said in order to cancel the deal, I'll pay the cancellation fee. Maybe he did.
That's not what I'm hearing.
That would be really stupid if he did that.
That's not what I'm hearing, and if that is what he did, yeah, it's stupid, but it's still bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't know which one it is yet, so, and I'm only talking to the.
Basically, I'll tell you what they're going to say is something that he signed agreeing to a cancellation fee.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with their price going up.
Yeah, I agree.
Are they so fucking desperate with all the hell we've had to where they can't do that? They can't refund the guy?
I agree with you, Mark. I just can't seem to get. First of all, did you find that? Did you share the contract here?
I didn't read through it.
I read through it and I didn't find the fine print, but I don't think that's the page. I think she sent.
No, it'll be in this.
What is she sending you?
She's sending me she's sending me his agreement for cancellation.
Online Trading Academy. Reserve your free class at 303-547-3588.
Medical care.
Or
pharmacy, I don't care either. Jeez.
It's time to join the
I
millions
love talking to a
using
robot.
Zoom video conferencing.
And she's gonna circle the stuff on it so we can find it.
Room or executive
I can't wait to cut the cord on getting rid of Dish
HD
Network.
video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your
Oh, you're
existing
gonna go with
hardware.
those,
Start your meetings with a single touch, or use Zoom's new voice.
Operator.
Visit Zoom.us
Does that work?
to set up your free.
I'll let you know in a minute.
Okay.
Zoom.us.
000.
I don't have it. Operator.
No, it's hard to find qualified.
Yes, Jay.
No, I just had to get my.
Post your job on Indeed.
Operator.
To find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+
Oh my God.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screening.
I said, oh my God. You said yes.
Oh.
Whoa, an entire shortlist of
Very pretentious.
That's very pretentious.
Worldwide, use Indeed to hire. Post your job at Indeed.com/hire. Indeed.
What did Newman climb like?
Total visits.
Like a ringtail monkey.
Nope, it wasn't a monkey.
20 nickel, 100.
Ringtail something. A ringtail something.
It is a ringtail something. You're absolutely right, but it's not a monkey. Ringtail lemur. Lemur. L-E-M-U-R.
Lemur.
A lemur.
Yeah.
A lemur. Hey, if you're from France, that's lemur.
Where lemurs live.
That might be the first time I mispronounced a word.
Lemurs only live in
Could
Madagascar.
you write the time and date down?
I busted you, man. I'm sorry.
Stand up to cancer.
Where
That's
do
what my
lemurs
kids
come
do. If
from?
I say anything wrong, man, they bust my house right away.
Committed to funding science to get better.
I do want to hear a score, though, guys. Come on.
Second game, I think I had 114.
That's not bad if you had a bowl lot. I mean, to me, that ain't bad at
We
all.
both broke 100, I think.
Yeah.
But we
Okay, well, you're not horrible
No,
then.
we're. I mean, he's not. But here's what's horrible about it.
Did the kids beat you?
No. But here's what's horrible about me. Is I can't. If I make a good, I've made some stripes, and they look perfect, but I don't know why. Okay, I'm doing this, but for some reason it doesn't come off the same way each
The last
time.
paragraph is very
How about those guys that, like, Brooklyn it and they toss it, like, 2 feet down?
How about guys that don't put their fingers in it? Have you seen
That's
that?
weird, and they spin it.
Oh, and they do a good job.
Here it is. I found it.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Centeno Schultz are stem cell therapy doctors for pain, arthritis, painful joints, ACL tears they can actually fix with a needle instead of a knife. Hey, they have thousands of cases behind them with living stem cell therapy. They harvest stem cells at the time of the injection. But here's the deal. There's so much information out there and a lot of misinformation, especially from chiropractors. You need the real deal from MDs, and you need it from Centeno Schultz, the first clinic, Dr. Chris Centeno, to do stem cell in a clinical setting in the United States. They have some seminars on the 11th, the 17th, and the 24th. They're all at 6 p.m. One is in Broomfield on the 11th, on the 17th in Lone Tree. Why don't you call for more information to get a seat? It's free of charge, no obligation. You're going to learn a whole bunch. Deputy Clint went to one of these seminars. He loved it. Also, if you'd like, you can call just for an evaluation to see if you're a candidate for stem cell. Because they're doctors, if you're not a candidate for stem cell, they can do other therapies. 303-963-9201. 963-9201, CentennialSchultz.com. Okay, did we get a hold of that roof, that Advanced Exteriors? Did we get a hold of them yet, Clint?
I got hold of a lady there. She's sending over the, but I think we found it.
We don't care about, listen, okay, what do you think you found? What is this? What is it?
It just says that if he cancels late, they have a right to keep 15%.
But they're but
I know.
Okay, I'm not talking about cancellation. They increased the price. They said this can't be done without spending another $5,500. The guy should have the option of saying no. I mean, under Advanced Exteriors theory, they can present a contract for $10,000, get a signature, and then come back and say, oh, it's going to be $20,000. Well, I can't do that. Well, then you get to pay us anyway. I have no dispute with someone doing a penalty if someone just willy-nilly changes their mind. This homeowner would have done the roof for $17,000. But Advanced Exteriors has the nerve to come back and say it can't be done without this extra $5,500 worth of work. I don't give a damn that it's a good deal. I don't give a damn that Advanced says they're doing it at their cost. The point is, you can't increase the price of a job and then penalize someone for getting out of it. What is to prevent Advanced Exteriors from doing that all the time? You know, oh, we're going to get to keep your deposit anyway. I mean, they can make a racket out of this. In fact, I want to know if there are any other consumers out there who have been dinged by Advanced Exteriors. In my opinion, it sucks. And if they do it, they're thieves. That's what my opinion is. Because you can't raise the price and keep them to the contract. If anyone at Advanced is listening, you have to understand, I don't give a damn about the quality of the roof. I don't give a damn about what you say about it being needed. The point is this. The consumer did not simply back out of the contract. According to the consumer, you told him he must go through with it even though the price was raised. That's the point. And Clint, I'm surprised you didn't tell him that. I don't give a damn that they have a cancellation clause.
I just had a poor secretary on the phone that...
Well, okay. Well, whoever
I'm waiting for a call back.
I want anyone at Advanced Exteriors to say why they are allowed to give a price and then come back and say we can't do it for that price unless you do this other contract for this price, and still keep their money if they don't do it. I want to know why anyone would ever have Advanced Exteriors do a contract with them. If you sign a contract with Advanced Exteriors, you're at risk of losing your money because all they have to do is add money to it until you say you don't want to do it. And then they can walk away and keep your deposit. Does that suck? That's Advanced Exteriors in Denver. And I am waiting with bated breath to hear what they have to say to justify holding someone to a contract after you increase the price under penalty. I'm Tom Martino for...
Bill Davis is supposed to call me back.
That is, don't let him fucking talk about anything else. No. You nail someone to the issue. I don't care. Well, we're doing it at our cost. Well, it couldn't be done by anyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't get to change the price.
Yeah,
you just don't get to do it.
Yeah, we found it here, but it's like you say, it cancels after a certain number of days. But cancels what? They already broke their contract.
Right. So after the second contract, we try to cancel in 3 days.
I don't know.
It's like that hot tub
The
deal.
thing is, they didn't amend that contract, Dan.
I had to bring you a copy because
They didn't amend that contract. They gave him a new contract.
Yeah,
It's a second contract, or auxiliary contract.
Yeah.
I complained downstairs. The office is freezing. My nose is cold.
So listen, we have so much bullshit going on here. I'm getting pissed.
What happened?
No, I'm just talking about this advanced experience.
Don't you live up by I-25 and 104? Do you live that way or no?
What do you need?
Well, I have a portable oxygen tank that can be picked up there, and I thought you lived up that way, so I said, hey,
I go there on my home.
you really can find
I go
sure?
around as far as I say.
Okay, let me get y'all the info then.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Remember, that's the issue. Not whether they had a right to get a penalty, not whether the consumer knew there was a penalty, not whether it's a good deal. Hello?
It's a surprise to her staff and to her
Hi, my name is Sheila, calling at Mercedes-Benz Westminster. I was looking to speak to Mr.
was not a surprise.
This is Tom Martino, and you guys service my car. And what are you calling about?
I want to take a little time off. I want to take a little break.
Oh, good, because I don't have a long time to talk, but I want to tell you that I was extremely satisfied with everything. Yep.
In the next 2 or 3 weeks.
And I would recommend them to anyone. Thank you.
President Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Okay. All right. See you. Bye.
And the customer did not sign the contract on the supplement. He didn't agree to it. So,
oh, that's good to know. You're right. Because that would have been legit.
yes, he didn't sign the supplement.
You're armed and extremely dangerous at this point.
Oh, good. Good.
You know that
Actually, he didn't sign the original. What the hell?
I don't understand Southbridge Dental, why they do it
Thank
with
you,
active duty.
And then once it's here, I will
Because
call
they
the
did it
caller
anyway.
and have him come
Yeah.
pick it up. He might even bring his sick friends, maybe get a picture.
Do they need like
That'll work out
service and
great.
stuff, or
Thank
do they
you.
get free stuff too? Reserve.
You know what?
No, I don't think, unless they're active at the time.
He never signed the original.
Find that out, but really, I don't want to even hold him to that. I mean, Clay, that's fine too, though. You're right.
That was just making no point.
But here's what I can't tolerate. We get the guys on the phone, they're going to say, well, it's clearly stated in our contract, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I can clearly state in the contract I have the right to kill your brother.
Well, it's clearly stated, but why did they change? Would you do it for 17.5? No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. So they didn't have a contract. They didn't have a meeting of the minds.
You breached the contract.
Yeah. They had no meeting of the minds. They didn't have a
Agent Dan Sabino.
I didn't breach the contract. On me.
Thank you for finding. I read right past that twice.
Which one?
That line you found in there. But you know, we just.
Oh, you're about how they're being nice guys, or no, how they're for their effort or whatever.
Yeah, for whatever they did. But you know something I just caught? I didn't notice. Don't you make them sign the contracts?
Oh, absolutely. If he didn't sign the contract, it's not valid.
No acceptance date.
Well, I'm not going to even render.
Well, you know, he could have emailed back and said, I accept.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But ask him if he signed it. He indicated to us he was not complaining about that part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I agree with them. It's coming out of my
You must
pocket.
you hate that. They're not my favorite.
What's that?
I mean, owning them.
You know what? They can be very profitable, but you need a project manager that
Oh,
understands
profitable. But what about the owner? Do you always have problems with them?
No, if you do them correctly. No.
Every one I've ever had, townhouse, the first knock, always had leaks.
They're they're problematic. The flat roofs are more problematic than pitch roofs.
Because they don't shed shit.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? This is
townhouse
crazy.
had 5 inches of water that stood in the middle.
The water that stands up there, it becomes like this environmental cesspool of a lot of the toxins in the atmosphere, and those toxins actually attack the roofing material.
In the winter, we'd hear these loud booms, like somebody hit the building. It was ice cracking from the big
I believe it.
puddles upstairs.
But you normally put it like that membrane, rubber membrane on top, right?
Couldn't you do this? Couldn't you do a, for people who want that look, couldn't you do a knee wall and then
inside have a roof like this.
Yep.
But the knee wall, it looks flat.
Hide it.
Yeah. Unless you want a deck on top of the roof.
Well, then you could do, hold on, then you could do a knee wall with stringers and leave a regular deck that has holes in it, like a regular deck.
Yeah.
That adds all sorts of additional complications because then you have to put your roof under the deck.
Right.
And then the deck sits on top of the roof. So
No, not say, I meant if you had it like the deck like this, open like this, and the roof underneath like this.
Oh, true, yeah. A pitched roof.
Think about that. And then
But still, at some point,
it would never get down there. Eventually
Now
you have to
take the
replace
deck
it.
off.
That's right, you'd have to take the whole damn deck
How
off.
hard is it to pitch a freaking roof when you build a roof?
It's not that hard.
On 630 K-How.
I'm your troubleshooter, Tom Martino, your consumer advocate, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal, for used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7. I'm Tom. We talk about cars. We talk about new and used. We talk about everything from, toasters to houses to cars and problems in between. Every transaction you can think of, person to person and person to machine, machine to person. We have some transactions nowadays you never even interact. I go to Amazon and buy something. I never see a person, hear a person interact. I click a button. So many things have become impersonal. Well, car buying is still not impersonal. It could be if you want it to be. But at Rocky's, you have good, friendly people showing you around a vast selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, or vans. You pick one, and boom, they have the financing to choose from, 40 lenders, and they make sure it's 100% approved before you leave. They never play that game where they call you back and say, we need more money. No, they don't play that game. So, Rocky's, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, 303-426-4646. Now let's talk about your problems, questions, complaints. June has a question for Jay Bretz, the owner of Excel Roofing, who's here with us today. June, what is your question?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Jay, I have a question in regards to an attic fan. I really want to get one, and I'm really confused about everything I read.
Sure.
I have a 1983 home with just the gable vents.
Yep.
And it's really hot in the summertime.
I bet it is.
I have air conditioning, and it don't help on the upper level because it's a bi-level.
Doesn't it make sense to you, June, and me, before Jay answers, doesn't it make sense that if it's extremely hot up there or extremely cold, it just makes sense to circulate air?
Yes.
I don't know what people have against him. What have you heard bad about him?
Well, depending on what I don't, it's just a lot of negative that you should just do more insulation. You get insulation companies out there, all they want to do is insulate. They don't tell you nothing that's not breathing with all that insulation.
Jay, talk about that, because if you insulate, what people don't understand, you're not insulating the attic, you're insulating the home. You don't care if the attic gets hot or cold as long as it doesn't get too cold and too hot. If the ceilings are insulated or the base of the attic, what does the fan do?
Well, what we're trying to do is to separate that heat from the attic, keep it from going down into the house. So a nice thick layer of insulation, I think that's a great thing. 20 inches is what you should have in this area.
Then talk about the circulation.
That's right. But so the circulation of the attic fan, or the air, is different because we want to make sure that that attic gets as much fresh air in it as possible. And I believe it's a combination of both things. If we can keep the attic as cool as possible, in addition to having that insulation, I think it's going to be less expensive to cool your house. And so I do want to, for everybody out there listening, we want to make the distinction between a whole house fan and an attic fan.
What are you're talking about an attic fan, right, June?
I want an attic fan, not a whole house fan.
Yeah, that's right.
You're talking about a fan that you don't feel in the house at all. This is okay, right?
Yeah.
And what does it do? You have one that you have to talk about because you set it and forget it, as Ron Popeil used to say. Talk about.
That's exactly right, and that's a solar-powered attic fan. So this fan sits up on the top of the roof. It's got a solar panel, a photovoltaic cell, and it turns the fan on, provides energy to it.
You have a switch, a thermos switch.
There is the switch that I like to put in there is a
thermo switch.
A thermoregulator switch, and it'll turn it on and off. That's right. But these fans are so quiet you can't hear them, and during the goal is to keep the attic about the same temperature as the outside air, and that fan is going to move maybe 12 to 1,500 cubic feet of air per minute, which is huge.
So it comes on and off automatically. You don't have to wire it. You can literally pop a hole and put it in.
That's exactly right. And so if she's got the gable fan or the gable vents right now, you could put a fan in the center and pull the air in through the sides of those gables, and I think that would be a good, effective system, June, and it shouldn't be too expensive to do that.
So that's what my question
How
is.
much is it?
How
much? Let's just tell her.
To come put a fan in and a fan only.
Just pop in a fan.
$7.99. $7.99 to do the fan only. If we're doing roofs, then it would be $5.99 because we're out there working and we're there already. But $7.99 to do one of those solar-powered attic fans, June.
Okay, well, Jay, I have you on my, you guys gave me an estimate. I'm still waiting for my insurance claim to go through. This has been since the beginning of September.
Yeah, they'll give you a deal on the fan if you're doing it with your attic. And by the way, they also, one thing I like about Excel, June, they make sure you have the proper openings. Just putting a fan in won't help if you don't have the proper openings. I was buying a house one time, and he said, Tom, you don't have any eaves venting or soffit venting where it pulls it up and through. You have holes on the top but not on the bottom. And they had taken grills and hammered them up there over solid board to make it look like there were vents. Remember how stupid?
Little 3-inch vents. I call them bird vents is what they are.
But they didn't even cut them. They just put them over the
They didn't.
Anyway, so he came in and added all that with the fan. And that's what they do when they do the roof. How many times have you gone to a house and you're just there to do the roof, but you end up putting in all the vents for them as what they need?
We do it on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah,
probably
30%?
Probably 30-40% of the time.
Yeah, so you leave that system in better condition than when you found it.
Absolutely.
And it's imperative that you do it. It's not, he does not just do it for the hell of it. And when it comes, two kinds of vents, the lower ones for sucking it in and the upper ones for blowing it out. Now, the fan will blow it out, but then he also depends on natural convective currents. So that fan only comes on when it's absolutely necessary. And you did a ridge vent for me one time, a long time ago.
Yep, ridge vents are great. We cut a slot along the top, the peak of the roof, and then we put a plastic cover on top of it, and it allows all the air to go out that way. Those are perfect for vaulted ceilings because a solar-powered fan would not work on a vaulted ceiling. We want to make sure that every chamber in the roof is on a vaulted ceiling is vented.
Yeah, that has to be vented.
So that's important.
Anyway, did you get a hold of Advanced Exteriors yet? Did they call back? I'm just curious.
Tom, I don't want to say anything yet, but I think the problem's going to get taken care of.
Okay, that's really... Well, here's what I really think, and I mean this sincerely. It could be that the sales guy on this job didn't want to see this job go away, and he forgot. He's the one that forgot to estimate this, and when the guy changed his mind, he took the money and, the penalty, not for himself, but, so he didn't look so bad. And maybe the owner doesn't know about this because nobody in their right mind is going to sign a contract like that and hold someone responsible if they increase the price. And I think maybe the guy that went out there miscalculated. Jay, what do you do if your guy miscalculates that goes out to the job? What do you do?
Normally there's
you don't have to eat it if it's a true mistake.
There's this groaning sound that I make, and then a lot of times we do eat it. If we make
if it's a contract.
If it's a contract and we have done something wrong, if we made a mistake, quite often we'll eat it. If there's an insurance company involved, most of the time we're able to do a supplement and get it resolved that way. But yeah, if you want me to do your roof and you're paying out of your pocket, it's a rental house or an income property, and you say I want the roof done for $10,000 and I promise it'll be done for $10,000, that's our price.
Yeah.
Unless we come across the bad decking. Other than that, a deal's a deal.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk to Sharon. And tell everyone, too, we have lines open, 303-713-TALK. Sharon, what's going on with UC Health? Is this one of those urgent care or emergency room confusions?
Yes, standalone emergency rooms.
Do you know how many... Sharon, you
I
didn't
know,
call...
it's horrible,
Did you call yesterday?
People need to know this.
You didn't call yesterday, did you?
No.
We had just one yesterday, and they're all
That's what I was listening to yesterday. That's why I called you today.
Theirs wasn't UC. Theirs was Centennial. But
yeah, they're all kind of the same, I think.
But the UC ones we get the most complaints about because they have the big standalones. So tell us what happened.
Well, my daughter took her daughter which is my granddaughter, thinking it was an urgent care, and as they're driving up, it was an emergency room. She had a fever. She ended up having the flu.
So they did know before walking in it was an emergency.
She saw the ER, but she said I was the daughter had 103 fever, so she was, rattled.
Well, then they knowingly did it.
And she didn't know that it was out of network.
Oh, but in an emergency,
yes.
I didn't think that mattered.
Well,
who do you have? Who's your carrier?
She has insurance through. She's a teacher, so she has it through her school.
Do you know who the carrier is?
I should have it here somewhere. Allegiance.
Okay, so she went in. They were out of network. What happened?
Well, she ended up having the flu. She got a Tylenol and IV. So then because she had an IV, they couldn't they had to transport her by an ambulance, which they waited an hour and a half for.
Where'd they transport her to?
2 miles down the road.
No, to where?
Parker.
I mean, where? To the street? Where did they transfer her to? To
well,
a building? To a store?
Room.
I mean, where did they bring her?
To the Parker Hospital.
Okay, so she literally had to be admitted.
They observed her when she got there, and they didn't even put an IV. I mean, she had
Did they keep her in the hospital?
Overnight.
So this is a little different.
They didn't do anything. They just observed her.
I understand, but this is totally different than urgent
care. So they bill it at level 5. They don't bill it according to the condition of the patient. They bill it only because you have to transport her.
All right.
And
if somebody goes in, if someone goes to an emergency room, and then they're looked at, and then it's deemed they need to be admitted, and then they're transported by ambulance, and then they go to a hospital. I have to tell you, Sharon, this is way different than the normal complaints we get. The normal ones are, I had this or that. I go into urgent care. It turns out to be in an emergency room, and I'm charged $6 grand. You're charged how much?
11 grand, over 11 grand.
Okay, but as crazy as this sounds, and I don't want to get into pricing because it's all outrageous, but for what happened, it's not out of line. I don't understand. At what your daughter could have
understand.
Your daughter could have said, "I don't want to be transported. I'm not that serious."
No, they won't let you. And then they had to wait an hour and a half for.
Is she pregnant?
No.
Why did they keep her for a fever?
They just observed her because she got transported, I think.
But why did they get transported? That's what I want to know. Why was she transported to begin with? Why not just say bye?
They didn't know. She had an IV in. They said they had to transport her.
God.
They didn't give them a choice. They said she had to be transported. She didn't have, the IV was capped.
All right, hold on a second, all right? Because we have somebody that wants to chime in on this. And also, isn't there a law that
I just am more concerned about the level that they build it. To me, that shouldn't be considered.
It wasn't going to be
your transport. It should be the condition of the patient.
Well, no, it's not, because they go by what you use. You use an ambulance. You used IV. You use certain rooms. Of course, they don't go by the condition of a patient because they have to go by what you used, what they sold to you, basically. Hold on a sec, though. Linda wants to talk about this, but I need to do it after this. Speaking, and I want to say this is not a fictitious story. This is for real. We've had people where this has happened, and they're billed $14,000, $15,000 for one visit. I'm not kidding. They literally have to do a bankruptcy because of it. We've had young people who go to urgent care. They think it's an emergency room. Emergency room keeps them. They go to a hospital. Some of them have come out with $16,000 and $18,000. Wink and Wink tells me the number one reason for a bankruptcy is a medical catastrophe. It has become our health care. Can you believe that? It's become our health insurance for those who can't afford regular health insurance. Yep. So winkandwink.com has handled this. They can handle it for you. And I'm not suggesting for Sharon right now for her kids. But we're just talking in generality. Winkandwink.com, for situations where you just don't know where to turn, they can at least give you some counsel. Mike and Gigi Wink, 303-410-1720.
This report is brought to you by Money Tree.
There's a couple of slow spots on the highway.
That's true, too. Oh, 50% of all bankruptcies or something like that are medical. Do you know what an air ambulance costs, Tom? The helicopter?
We almost found out.
Take a guess.
I don't know. $3 grand.
To get Flight for Life to come pick you up and drop you somewhere, you don't know what the average cost is? 40 grand.
Ooh.
40.
$40,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's unheard of, for God's
No, if you look it up, look up with.
I'm not doubting it. I'm saying it's ridiculous.
You know what? This is the crazy part of it. So the helicopters fall under the FAA, and because of deregulation, there's no price controls. And because I saw this big news
Not
report.
in Colorado, but it's in Arizona.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because my son in Arizona was price controlled there.
It's Arizona's price controlled?
Yeah.
I don't think Colorado is.
Huh?
Well,
on an area.
it's federal though. How can they control it?
I don't know, but Arizona, I'm positive he told me because it was. I thought, well, wait a minute, that's no more than a regular ambulance. Their ambulance and air ambulances are regulated somehow in Arizona. I can find out exactly what it is, because I was surprised how low the bill was. When I walked in when my wife was hurt, just recently, the doctor was on the phone to Clear Creek County, chewing them out for not using the helicopter. When they had a brain injury on a patient, he was on the phone yelling at him, and I found out how expensive it was, maybe I'm glad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man.
He was, and he said, we had a 16-year.
Okay, so I'm just looking it up in general. It says the cost can be less than $2,000 for a short flight to $50K for longer domestic. I heard that it was.
See if you can find anything about the Arizona thing.
I heard that it was $40,000 in Colorado.
What did that say?
This is saying between $2,000 and $50,000.
Oh, it's way more than 2. I don't think you'll ever do it for 2. Ever.
To get a pilot and two EMTs.
Just a sightseeing tour is damn near is like $900.
See if you can find
for
out.
I think an ambulance, a regular ambulance.
Regulated in Arizona. I heard that it was regulated in Arizona, that they regulated the guy I was talking to is knowledgeable about it.
Who's going to take one for the team and kill Kavanaugh, the Democrats? They're always inciting violence. Join me too.
Yeah, Arizona family.
Arizona family hit with $47,000.
You know,
air ambulance.
Pro Auto Care is a car nanny. That's what they're known as, car nannies.
Meaning they take care of your car like they're your old man or your brother or your uncle. They tell you when to get your oil changed, when you need your brakes adjusted, when you need something done. They do it based on your VIN, your estimated mileage, and you get gentle reminders by text. Once you become part of the Pro Auto family, not only do you get these reminders, but they keep records for you. If you ever want to sell your car or you have to prove maintenance for any warranty work, they keep records, detailed records. And they also give you free roadside assistance in between every single repair because it goes on for 36,000 miles, so that's mostly in between all care. That's Pro Auto Care, 2 locations, near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. 303 Pro Auto is the number, and the website 303proauto.com. You know, speaking about this this health thing, look, if you go to UC Health in the emergency room, and you know it's an emergency room, and then you're charged for the intravenous, and then they have to observe you and transport you by ambulance, you're going to pay. No matter what, you're going to pay. But I think there's a new law about these freestanding emergency rooms that they have to give you a detailed menu of costs, and you get to deny them. So she should have been presented with what it was going to cost her to transport after emergencies.
That bill was signed into effect April 25th of this year. Was signed into effect, but it doesn't go into effect till January 1st of 19.
Oh, thank you, Clint. So, this sucks. So how much is her insurance covering, Sharon?
About the high of 2,000, close to 3,000.
Okay,
so
close to 3.
About 8.
So she's going to be responsible for 5 or for 8?
8,000.
Oh, okay, so for 8, so the whole bill was 11. Okay, I get
a little
you.
over 11 was
okay, I get you.
11,500.
So she has to pay 8?
That's 3 months of a teacher's salary.
Oh my God, it's ridiculously high.
I know.
Now, here's the crazy part. If she didn't have insurance, she could probably make a deal to pay maybe $800.
That's what I heard.
Yep. So why doesn't she try to make a cash deal and say, I can't afford it?
You know, I've been arguing with them because this happened in March, so it was before the law even, I mean, it was just when it was getting
Well,
passed.
the law did not go into effect.
I know, it didn't go until, so I looked that up already.
Oh, good.
I already called the senator.
Do you think they'd be willing to take a settlement?
No, I've tried.
What do you mean? What do they say?
They just said it's level 5 because they had to transport her, And you know, they waited an hour.
By the way,
and a half.
I get all that. I wouldn't even try. I really wouldn't even try to fight that.
I tried a cash settlement, and they said that we could apply for Medicaid.
Well, wait a minute. Is she eligible for Medicaid?
I doubt it. I mean,
well, don't doubt it, because she could be. I'm serious. She could be eligible even though she works. They go by income. She has some kind of coverage now, so I'm not sure if she is eligible. But here's where I would start. Okay, so at least start with Integra Insurance, which is our health insurance expert. And they really, honest to God, are good people. If ever you're looking, even for Medicaid, they can help people with Medicare, even though they don't make a dime off of those things. And they can help.
Some kind of charity thing that they recommend too, and I didn't quite.
Some kind of a charity thing.
That, yeah.
The Christian Share thing.
I don't know what it was, but we got that far. That's where we are right now.
All right, hold on, Linda.
But I have to have my husband or her do that. I can't
Linda,
do it.
Do you have a comment, Linda? Sharon, Linda just happened to call in. Go ahead.
Hi.
Yes.
I actually do this kind of coding for a living.
Yes.
And a level 5, whenever a patient is either admitted or transferred out of the ER, it's always a level 5, and there's no changing it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So I mean, you know what? Like I said, whether they go out of the hospital or whether they're admitted, it's always a 5.
No, but but let me get this straight. If they just go in, let's say she went in, and she has this flu or something, and the husband says, "Okay, we're going to keep her hydrated and take her home." Then would it still be a level 5?
No, they might have decided to. It might have been an against medical advice.
Yeah.
And the parents could have taken the child themselves,
or the husband or wife.
Yeah, I mean, you have the option of signing out AMA and taking the child to the
so Sharon, when you
facility.
said it was impossible to get out of there, first of all, are we talking about an adult or a child, Sharon?
Child.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
now I see why. Now that makes way more sense to me.
Yeah.
So they held her, but you said she had no choice. They forced her to. She could have said, "No, I want to take my kid home."
Yeah, she could have said that. And just
they
find out
didn't
AMA.
even tell her that ahead of time, and that was one thing I said at the point of service. Now there's a law, but at the point of service, I said you should be able to tell someone this is going to be a level 5.
Well,
Linda, what do you think?
But we do not have that information until after the patient is gone. We do not have access to the records while they're still there. We only get the records after they're discharged, so there's no way that they can tell you in the ER what that level will be.
Right.
Why is it the medical profession doesn't do, like I was a pharmacist. In the pharmacy, we had computer programs, which I'm sure that they have.
Go ahead, just keep going.
They have a capability to do this.
Okay.
Why is it they don't have computer programs that tell you at the point of service, like they do in pharmacy? We've had it in pharmacy for 30 years.
Tell you what at the point of service?
Yeah, they can tell you what it's going to cost.
They can. You're
well,
right.
Yeah, but they still have to run it through your insurance. We
bill insurance companies in that pharmacy. When you walk in a pharmacy,
no, I understand.
It goes right there,
Sharon,
and they come back and put a price on it.
That's not what Linda does, and I don't know.
No, like I said, everything I do is after the fact,
yeah.
And we don't have access to the information until the records are scanned and downloaded into the computer, and then we can access them.
Now, Linda, do you totally blindly code based on what was done, or can you, and I don't mean this that you're lying, but can you code it so you know it's going to be covered? Say, you know what, let me just change this so it gets covered.
No, because we don't know what their insurance companies will pay and what they won't pay, and we just don't. We don't know anything except the patient came into the ER, and we charge based upon the information that we have to the highest level of care. If a person comes in and has a CAT scan, that's automatically a 4. If a patient comes in and has IVs, that's automatically a 4. A 5 is when a patient is discharged from the hospital and they're either admitted or they go to another facility.
Okay, but if they just leave, that's different.
But if they just leave, like if this patient would have left with a prescription, it would have been a 3.
Okay, all right. So listen, thank you both of you. This is unbelievable, though, the complaints we get. Bill, go ahead.
Hey, first I want to thank you. Remember I called up about a week ago or so about the check from my car that got hail damaged?
Yes.
And they issued me a check to my name.
I said they would issue you. Well, wait, but
It was issued to me in the leasing company.
That's right. And I said, that's the way it works. And you got it reissued?
Yep.
You know, that's odd to me because normally when the lien on the car...
Well, no, but you told me when I called up that I'm paying for it one way or another.
That's true. That is true.
That's what I told my insurance agent.
That is true. Even if they made the check to you and you decided not to get it fixed, you'd still pay for it. You're right.
I told them it was worked into the trade-in because I got a new car when I turned it in.
That's what it was.
Right.
You had already traded it in. They gave you the check to the leasing company and you said, wait a minute, it's already been traded in. And you made the argument that when you traded it in, you got that much less for it.
Well, yeah, and plus it took a while. I just got the letter from the lease company that I owed them nothing.
What kind of car was that, by the way?
It was a Silverado.
What do you have now?
Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Now, I love that size.
It's not a Colorado. It's a ZR2.
Oh.
You can't get them. Rolly, I don't know about now, but when I got this one, they couldn't even get them.
You know
anyway.
I wish they would build the damn Avalanches again. Those are nice vehicles. Do you know they don't make them now?
I know. You were so sad when they quit making them. I remember.
Love them. I love them. And I don't, I like my current vehicle, but I'm not sure. The Avalanche is every bit as good as far as the ride. I have to admit that. It really is every bit as good. Did you ever have an Avalanche?
I never have. I just buy a full-size pickup truck and throw a topper on the back. And
I know you have a giant truck.
And it works great for whenever I have to load roofing material or my bicycle or skis or whatever in there. It's perfect.
Okay, so the Hummer doesn't have a lot of room, does it? No, because Clint... You have the Hummer. You have the regular size Hummer, right?
Yeah, that's my wife's. They're big on the outside, but tiny on the inside.
4 people?
5.
Do you have 3 in the back and 2 in the front?
Yeah, but
it doesn't have a third row?
No.
Man.
And they're the thickness of the doors and the console. They're tiny on the inside. The roof's cut down and yet huge on the outside.
Yeah, I think they're cool looking. I think the downsized ones are cool looking. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't such a piece of crap. I love those Jeeps Rubicons. They are nice. I would love to get a 4-door Rubicon and deck it out.
That would be sweet, but as soon as you're on the highway going 75 miles an hour,
no.
You don't want to do that.
Also, just longevity. They I don't know. I think they look good. To this day, I love the way they look. Okay, so I love the Jeep Rubicon, or that model, 4-door. I like I call them Jeeps, not those other things, those SUVs. And then I like the Toyota Land Cruiser, the old ones and the new ones. They stopped making those. They are handsome vehicles. I'm talking about the Land Cruiser, the FJ is it called, or that has a J in it?
FJ Cruiser.
Oh, they are cool. I love the way they look. And, of course, I love the Avalanche, and I love the G-Wagon. I mean, those are my favorite. The Land Rover, in my opinion... you can just drive it off a cliff, and it's they're just the biggest pieces of garbage. Do you like Land Rover, or Range Rover, or Land Rovers?
I always liked them until I rode in one.
Oh yeah,
and after I rode in one, I was like, I don't get it. What's all the hype about?
Yeah, well, or you own one and find out what pieces of junk they are. They're the worst dollar value on the road, in my opinion. All right, let's talk. One Clear Choice Garage Door is the place to go for your garage door service. Bar none. One Clear Choice Doors. Chappie runs this place like the Marines. Of course, he is a former Marine. Semper Fi there. Chappie loves doing the inspections to put the sticker up there. He does them free. If you call him and say, I want the Martino inspection. And, of course, if you ever have a problem, give him a call. That's oneclearchoicedoors.com, 303-565-6409.
This is Denver's
Talk. I know I have tinnitus.
I only have tinnitus when I pay attention to it. Otherwise, I don't know.
I have it.
I ignore
and
it.
I don't have to pay attention to it. In the morning, it's the worst when I'm laying in bed in the morning. I open my eyes.
It drives Lois crazy because I always keep the radio on all night long.
I like it too.
And it's background noise.
Pardon me, what's the name of the company you suggested for the attic fan? Did you mention one?
We can do it.
Oh, then who was mentioned? She says, who did they just mention could do it?
Shingle vaccine
There wasn't Whisper
was
something?
approved in October of 2017
vaccine,
For addict
and
yeah, tell them to
it's
call
the
us.
only vaccine approved for shingles. Hello.
Look
it up. Look it up.
Ah, now we're up. It's just like Daphne in North Korea bombing us.
Fake news, Dan.
Fake news.
Dan.
You know what? He does this all the time. Just says stuff.
Dan. Tom, when was it approved?
He told me one time his dog had chicken pox.
When was it approved?
October 2017. The first approved vaccine for herpes virus.
I thought Walgreens.
I mean, excuse me, for, yeah, no, it says herpes. It says herpes, comma, parentheses, shingles, parentheses, herpes, zoster.
He's looking at something else.
No, it's shingles, but it's also called
shingles.
zoster.
Yeah.
I thought Walgreens was offering that several years ago.
Absolutely. This is a new one.
Oh, okay.
This is a new one.
No, hey.
I'll guarantee
This is
Tom.
the only one.
I know, but maybe now. Maybe they switched it to now.
My wife got
but there was another one before.
No.
She got
Lunch?
Mark, how do you get him from, like, polluting you with fake news?
I don't know. It's like Daphne.
I had a
North
shingles
Korea's
vaccine 2
bombing.
years ago. My folks had one 5 years ago.
Nah, you're thinking of the shingles virus.
And did you have a chicken pox? Did you have chicken pox when you were a kid?
Yeah. You got to have chicken pox, and then.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Was there, I'm just going to say,
Why are you that worried about shingles? What if you get them?
Shingrix, the first
What do you mean, if you get shingles?
shingles
It's painful.
vaccine.
I guess it's super painful.
Okay, I'm
Some
asking.
people get worse.
All-wheel drive is an all-you
Yes.
new Ford SUV.
No, 06.
Dan?
2006.
What?
It is 2006.
What?
When was the shingles vaccine introduced? 2006.
Absolutely.
Okay, Walgreens offered it like 10 years ago. My
Then
wife
why
thought
is
she
this one the only approved?
Maybe it's
You're on the fake
now.
It was
news
called
now. Probably it is now.
Zostavax.
Yeah.
Trade name Zostavax was introduced in the United States in 2006.
But it was only for dogs.
Walgreens was giving it to people, though. It was too late for my wife, and she wanted me to get one, but it was really expensive.
The new one's like 50% better than the old one.
I don't even go to the doctor anymore. I'll go to my
Okay,
vet
guys.
and give the symptoms to my vet.
I'll tell you something.
You know, people have ringing in the ears, and they think that it's a hearing problem. It's really not. It comes from your nerves, from nerve damage. I got it from mastoiditis, which was an infection in this bone near my ear. Some people get it from a trauma to the head. And Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, they treat tinnitus. It's different than hearing loss, and they have special treatment for it. Now, they can mask it as well for those who can't get this permanent treatment, because there's both a permanent treatment for certain ones, and then if yours falls outside of that, they have masking treatments. The other treatment, called the Synchra, is considered a permanent cure. Contact Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center to find out more. They are the pioneers for both hearing loss or tinnitus or both. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Helpforringing.com. Bill, make your additional comment about UC Health.
My first comment.
Yes.
Hey, what I called up for was that woman with the hospital.
Right.
My son, he was over 21 years old. They had a party at work. He drank too much.
Yes.
And they ended up putting him in the hospital, and they were trying to, sock it to him with the fees.
Well, of course. It's very expensive.
So I told the doctor, I go, I'll tell you what. He was over 21.
Yes.
I go, he's over 21. I'm taking him to my car, and I'm taking him home. If you stop me, I'm calling the cops.
Well, they didn't try to stop, right?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't let him go. I told them, if you stop me, I'm calling the cops.
Oh, come on. They wouldn't let him. Did they let him go then when you said that?
No, then they let me go. Then they was like, couldn't get me out the door fast enough.
Okay, well, yeah, people have to be assertive, Bill, or they're going to literally try to keep them and say, they call it against medical advice or something you sign out. Frank, what's going on?
Yeah, I'd like to know on the laws here. It's where I got like a 60 to 80 decibel high hearing loss, and when somebody purposely keeps yelling at the top of their lungs, and it's like, the hitting you with it. I mean, I jumped out of my wits when
let me get this straight. Are you talking about somebody who knows that you have
a
problem
in your family that's ornery enough to pull off and you know.
And this noise irritates you, or you're saying
it causes me to jump. It's painful. I mean, because when you have a high frequency hearing loss in there, those nerves. If you know what neuropathy looks like, it's a little vein in there, then the nerve with
Frank,
it, and the vein
are you
is dying.
saying that you have someone who is purposely doing loud noises to startle you?
Oh, it's loud as the top of their voice, even.
Okay, so tell them to stop.
That's it. They're ornery enough that they don't do or
Are you asking if there is legal action you can take against them?
I've heard about some states had it. If somebody gets I call this a physical thing they're doing it, you know, too. But
well, if it's assault, Frank, if it's assault, yeah, it can be assault. Maybe not battery, but it can be. Yelling at someone can be assault. I mean, if they're literally, and with the crime, of course, intent has something to do with it. It's different than civil. I mean, if these people are intentionally inflicting harm on you, and they know that it hurts you and that it startles you, you could press an assault charge. But Frank, what are they yelling? Are they saying, "Hey, Frank, you stupid idiot," or are they saying, "Frank, what do you want? You want a cold beer?" I mean, what are they yelling?
Oh man!
No, seriously. Give me an example. Give me an example of when they would yell.
Oh, just as soon as they come out, they'll just yell on purpose. Anything like they're going to go out, or they.
Yeah, that's not going to be
something like that, or
do they live with Frank? Do they live with you?
I didn't do, you know.
Do they live with you, Frank?
Oh yeah.
All right. So, are you talking about a son or daughter or what?
No, brother, sister, you know.
Well, hold on. Why are you living with your brothers and sisters? Are you
Well, we just only, you know, this is the house that we've always lived. This is the only place I can live in.
All right,
I've got a disability I'm on, too, you know.
You have a disability, meaning you're hearing, right?
Well, I've got spinal, nerves. I've got all sorts of things that's in there. Mentally, too, they had diagnosed me back at East High School. And
so if you have a disability and you're living with people who are truly, truly psychologically abusing you, I don't know if that's the case, Frank. It doesn't sound like it to me. But if
it is,
well, okay.
It's been ongoing for years, so it's not stopping. And I've told them stop from yelling one time, and you know,
maybe they say, Frank, if I don't yell, you won't hear me.
When I'm sitting down, or if I help them or something like change the oil, all of a sudden they'll catch me right then, and it's like it's a joke or something, but it's really, you know, to me, it's just a cruel.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
It's like somebody need to deprogram or something. I don't know.
But here's the deal.
You know?
I think you're going to have a tough time making a criminal case out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think you. I don't think
but
you
there's
should.
no law saying that you can file that. Like, does this state have it, or
for what?
It's illegal to have you know.
A what?
Assault on you, verbal assault like that, you know, if they're making verbal assaults.
Frank, here's what I think you're
looking for. I think it's called gaslighting.
No, here's what I think you're looking for.
I think it is. I think it's called gaslighting. When someone tries to make you think you're crazy.
I know. I think, though, Mark, if we want to take this call seriously, and he's really upset about it, if he's a person at risk, he's elderly and he has a disability. So if you're a person at risk, you can you know, file a charge against someone who's abusing you. But Frank, that's a very serious thing. So I would call the Center for what is it called? Legal Center for Disabilities, Suzanne? What is that place we call once in a while? I think it's the Legal Center for Disability.
Not legal. It's just the Center for Disability. They help people fill out the paperwork and help them find assistance.
Now maybe and I think you could file with the police department or the district attorney's office if you feel it's elderly abuse. And I mean that sincerely, Frank. It doesn't sound like it to me, though, Frank. But I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? It sounds to me like you're hard of hearing, and these people just yell because they need to communicate. Hey, I'm going out, Frank.
Yeah. The one thing they do is they lie about it. It's actually two people now that... and they're older than me.
That's why I don't think.
I don't want to say nothing, and then they accuse me of it.
Okay,
like
I think
kind of lying. You know, they switch it over.
What
is it? Away with it, got away with it.
Frank,
type of thing,
it sounds like a family thing for me. It really does. It just sounds like a family thing. You know,
I don't know if there's anyone.
It sounds horrible, though. Just the fact he thinks it's happening.
No,
It's got to be. It's got to suck.
Frank, let me ask you something. These people, how old are they?
Over 65 and some like 71.
How old are you?
I'm 62 ongoing.
Okay.
God, you sound old.
Yeah.
I don't doubt if I'm even older than that by now.
Frank, if you want, we would have Deputy Daff is the one adept at this kind of thing. I would have her call them. But once we call and open up this can of worms, do you want us to? Now, not to threaten them, but call them and find out, do some fact-finding, saying, you know, Frank called us and he kind of is concerned and he doesn't know who to turn to. And really, we just want to find out what's going on. Would you want us to do that or not?
Well, I was going to go up there and see the Attorney General's office.
Nobody's going to see you there.
They won't.
I mean, Frank, I shouldn't say that.
How about if I went over here to the District 2 Police? I think they have somebody, huh?
Yes, but I don't think it's that serious. Frank, do you think they might hurt you?
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. I can only say...
Are they brothers? Is it a brother and a sister?
Yeah, and they've got something about, they got this thing that they can sue me. They go into a real out-of-the-way thing where...
Can you record any of it?
The only thing I know is...
Do you know how to record stuff with your phone?
Boy, I don't have a phone like that. I'm thinking of getting that cop watch, the cam, or whether they show it on TV, but then, you know, that's what I'm thinking. I better get that so they don't do it anymore and then catch them like that, because if two of them are lying one for each other to make their story, and that's what aggravated is that they started doing like that, like as if it's a bigger joke.
Okay, well...
Fraud or something.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is weird, okay? I don't want to make fun of it. I want to help you, but I'm not sure if you're imagining it or if you're in danger. I would hate to, you know, laugh about this.
I need to get the proof first.
No, you don't need proof. If you allow us to call them, we'll call them. You know, we'll just make a call.
There's something screwy around here.
What do you guys think? I mean, really...
I think, my God,
seriously,
that bio-T works great because he is 4 years younger than you. Honest to God, it's amazing.
Now, what do you think, Jay, of this guy? Do you think you've heard from elderly people before, I'm sure.
I think the poor guy's sitting there living with his brother and sister, and they've probably been at each other for the last 40 years, and they're yelling at him. He's probably hard of hearing, and it's just, I think it's one of those deals.
All right, we got more coming up.
This report is sponsored by
90s.
No, I would have said
80s, 90s,
or
I thought
Mark, you know how
75,
many people I see my age that I think they're the guys. Oh, I'm 65, and I'm thinking.
I bet that guy looks as old as he sounds, man.
So do you see this here? The two shingles disease. Shingrix is a new one, different from hospital.
It is a form of domestic abuse.
You guys
I changed it to that 800, but reach out to him and ask him which one, would you?
They take seriously, and
You guys owe me lunch.
For what? I already found out in 06.
No, you're agreeing with them. This is a new one.
It's not a charge.
That's what I was talking about.
Poor guy that probably doesn't have any other options. That's
You
probably
know,
it.
probably not.
I know.
He's
He's
crazy.
probably on Social Security and doesn't. It's
SSDI.
probably,
He just got it.
it's probably not possible
I'll
for
bet
him
you've
to
been on
move out to another
SSDI for
house.
years.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
It sounds like he's stuck. to
It
me.
sounds like gaslighting to me. They're trying to make him feel crazy.
He's been on SSDI for years, I'll bet. Because of all
Yeah,
the
he said he's been crazy ever since he was going to East High School.
Yeah. He's probably been on Social Security
That's
disability.
a problem. You went to East.
Yeah, that's a problem. I went to West, that's a problem.
What's the one that's downtown? That is Denver East. It's the guy.
That's West, isn't it?
Is it downtown?
West is downtown off Spear.
Right on Spear.
Well, is it?
What,
There
crazy.
have a lot of
Oh, yeah.
issues like that.
North. Oh,
And once you think something
South
like
is the only
that,
one that's a decent school.
nothing's going to change his
East,
mind.
North, and West are all.
So if they really are doing it,
they're all problems.
oh man, that would drive him crazy.
We're doing like yelling at him.
Maybe his brother and sister are just mean and they've been hazing him for the last.
I think you hit it right on the last 40 years, they've just been at each other.
They're tired of them living there. God, I couldn't imagine being under the same roof with my sisters. That would be hell.
What about that the professor one? She's got it. She's all with there.
My crazy sister. I can't. You know, I've got
Just
her
like
blocked.
that. The jerking chain.
I got her blocked on my phone.
She had him. She had him.
Oh, that's terrible.
She had him locked up one time.
Your sister had you locked up?
She tried.
Holy shit.
Because for a good cause.
Crazy.
It was for that charity thing, wasn't it? They locked you up and you had to pay.
It was the craziest shit ever.
We need to send somebody there.
We've right here. My God, is there a better person to send? What? Let's do it. We've talked about it. Let's do it.
What's that?
I don't want to say it over the thing. To get some video.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tom, did you ever call that guy that Helm?
Oh, by the way, Judy went to the.
No, but I have it ready to do it. Judy had her.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. You know, when we get calls on this show, family versus family, neighbor versus neighbor, friend versus friend, we really sometimes have some fun with it, but sometimes there could be a really serious problem. I'm not saying that's happening with Frankie. He says they're yelling in the house and it upsets him and all of that. So I wonder what you think when you hear this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't ever want to take something lightly and have someone end up in trouble. You know, that's happened before. In fact, we had a call one time, and this woman was nitpicking everything in a home. And the husband was on there, and you could tell he was kind of troubled, but he was, I think he was like ruled by his wife and that. And we kind of made light of it. This woman, I don't think it was because of our show, but she couldn't get anyone to address her situations, and she ended up committing suicide. And you never want to be an influence one way or the other on people. But in any case, you know, Frank calls and he says, my brother and sister I live with, they're older. He's 62, and they're 60s, in their late 60s and 70s. And, you know, they yell. And he says, I think they do it on purpose, and they talk about suing me and all that stuff. So you never know. But I never want to discourage people from calling with problems like that, because we have all kinds of resources. Now, Suzanne, that woman that wanted to comment hung up. I think she was on there twice and hung up.
Well, no, Frank called back and hung up, and then the lady with the comment hung up.
Do you know what she wanted to comment on?
I don't.
Okay. In any case, we have lines open, and we can fit some calls in if you want to call right this minute, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you don't, I'm going to hit up Jay for a special. Now, are you guys busy? So busy you can't give a special?
We are so busy right now, Tom.
How about a special for after?
I would love to do a special, but I don't know one that we could even honor right now.
Okay, how about this? How about a roof fan? How about just one special for one roof fan? For one attic fan?
You know what I'll do? We're coming into the...
If they pick you for a roof, you do something with the...
Let's do this. This is a true deal right here.
Okay.
Anybody over 80 years old, if they want us to come clean their gutters, I'll do it for free for the first 5 callers.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We're in fall here.
That's awesome.
The gutters.
That's really cool.
Yeah, for the first 5 people, and you have to be the person over 80. Okay, don't call for your mom.
Yeah.
Because
no, truly.
If you're over 80 and you're listening to Tom's show and you've got gutters that need to be cleaned, you call me right now. Our normal charge is $199 to come out and clean the gutters on a 1-story house. So that's a $200 value right there for the first 5 people and 5 people only. Don't call me.
80 with a 1-story house.
1-story house. Don't call me and be the 10th caller and break my heart, okay?
And that's
what we do.
With a 3-story house.
If you do a 3-story house, it's going to be $399. But if you have a 1-story house and you're over 80, and you've got to be a loyal listener to Tom, you got to say that you've been listening for the last 20 years.
For how many? No, but how many do we have?
5. First 5 callers. And I'm going to have to call my office and tell them to get ready.
What a great deal. Yeah, right now your office is going, what the hell's going on?
I didn't think Jay was going to do anything today. What's he doing?
So, the first 5 callers, 80 or older, if you call the office and they don't know about it, tell them to take your name and number anyway, and because Jay told us to call. If you tell them that, they'll take your name and number for Jay. First 5.
I'm letting the office know right now.
I'm going to give the number right now for Excel Roofing. 303-761-6400. 303-761-6400. Now, I got an email about Range Rover saying that they love Range Rover and they don't know what I'm talking about, and they think that it'll beat the hell out of the Avalanche, but I don't think so. And I don't want to get into my SUV is better than yours. Suzanne, you want to grab that? Maybe somebody wants to squeeze in. I don't know. In any case, I'm going to go to some more emails. One said that they totally agree about the Jeep. It's a great-looking vehicle. Now, to me, the Jeep is the biggest stretch. When I say stretch, it's the biggest stretch between looks and quality. For such a bad vehicle, it's got such great looks. And I don't know, do you think the Range Rover is good looking? I think the Range Rover is pretty good looking.
I think it is. Yeah. I think it's a nice looking vehicle.
But if you've ever been in one, it's gonna break your heart. Now,
and especially when you go to the mechanic, then you're really going to get your heart broken.
Somebody here has a question. Should I buy a car at the end of a lease? Okay. Now, first of all, forget the fact that you're leasing it, okay? Take yourself away from the equation. This will help you answer it better. Look at the car. Forget that you were leasing it. The only benefit there is you know that the maintenance was done if you did it, and you know who the owner was. So people always want to know who owned this, how'd they treat the car. So that part you know. But other than that, erase yourself from the deal and ask yourself what condition it is in and what other cars of the same sort and mileage are going for. It really comes down to buying a used car. It matters not that you are buying from the lease. Now, here's what is important. Sometimes when you buy your own leased vehicle, you can get out of all penalties. So if you went over mileage, it doesn't matter. It's just that you can't get a big discount because you can't say, oh, this car has a lot of mileage on it, I'm not paying that much. But if you pay a fair price, it negates the penalty. The leasing company does not have a loss, so they can't pop you for a penalty. So that's my advice on a leased back car. In fact, there are people who purposely do this. They lease cars if they know they want to keep a car. I don't know if any of you are like this. I'm not like this. I'm just going to admit it to myself. But there are people who will keep a car 7, 8 years. They love cars. And if they find one they love, so they get the best, biggest, baddest car or truck. And they lease it for as long as they can. Now, back then it was like 5 years this one experience that I had with someone. I think you can get a 6-year lease now, but this was a 5-year lease, and they leased it with as little mileage as possible because they didn't care. They were going to buy it. So they got a very low payment because they were leasing a car over 6 years with very little mileage per year. Once that happened, at the end of the lease, they were way over miles. They didn't care, and they bought it from themselves. So they went out, then got a loan on that car for 3 years. So they had a 9-year deal that they kept this vehicle. Now, you don't have to get a loan. You can pay it off. But the point is you get a car that you normally could never afford, and you get to keep it for 9 years. Now, there are people who might do that for a 7-year period, or for an 8-year period, or for a 6-year period. I don't think I could trust myself to do it because I don't think I would keep it. I just don't think I would. Now, I don't like changing cars every 2 years. I don't. But at the same time, I don't think I like keeping them 5 years either. What is your sweet point for a car, sweet spot? Do you have one?
I'm 60,000 miles-ish, just because of the warranties.
And I don't get the gimmies with a car so much. I actually get attached to vehicles. What about you, Jay?
I'm one of those 5 to 10 year guys.
Are you?
I keep vehicles, and then I buy all my trucks, and then as soon as I'm done with them, I cycle them into our fleet.
So wait, you lease and then buy from yourself?
I just buy it straight out.
Oh, straight out. What about you, Clint? Do you keep them?
I keep them to about 200,000.
Deputy Dan, what about you?
Try to.
You try to keep them?
Yeah,
Brutus, do you keep them? You kept your Jeep a long time, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, we're out of time. Don't forget referralist.com and, of course, excelroofing.com, our guest today. Save all your problems for me.
It's never been easier to get rewarded at Isle Casino Hotel Black.
He sold to his dad.
Did you go out to that house, that complex with me
that the landlord fixed the windows and cardboard stuff.
No, wait. That was out on where he had rentals that were just little spaces and trailers. And, oh my God! Oh, they were terrible. He had his video camera. I mean, what he videotaped was.
You're talking that trailer park.
Oh, that's what I thought.
This was an actual house.
Oh no.
The boiler went out just like that call today. One boiler, like 5 units.
Hey, I'm meeting Jim Saxton today.
And when the boiler was out, 2 of the windows were broken. So the landlord comes out, puts cardboard in the window and duct tapes it.
I know, but there's a.